Monkeys, they fly, fly, and you know this. Kids and dogs, oh my, they go in.
Walking paper, I buy big cars, 8 fly rides to drive in my garage. Stay sky high, fly with the stars. 3-4 flights, 80 grand large. So we lean with it, pop with it. Vertical Jones, mean with the top missing. I'm sitting clean with the bottom kitted. I hopped out, saggy jeans and my rock glisten. But I spent about 8 grand, mommy on stage, doing the ring dance. She let it hit the floor, made it pop. Got my pedal to the floor, screaming, fuck the cops. We fly, no lie, you know this. All in outside, it's like showbiz.
Monkeys, they fly, no lie, and you know this. Kids and dogs, oh my, they go in.
Here tonight, could be gone tomorrow. So I speed through life like it's no tomorrow. 100 G's worth of ice on the Audemars. And we in the street life till they call alarm. I made the whip kid naked while I switch gears. The topic, but of course gotta fly the sperm to the hood and roll dice on side the curb. Now I know a G bet might sound absurd. Try 80 up Linux cause I got an urge. The rap game like the crack game, lifestyle, rich, famous, living in the fast lane. So when I bleep, shorty bleep back, Louis Vuitton belt where I'm keeping all the heat strapped. I beat the trail over Rucker, all guns loaded in the back, motherfuckers. We fly, no lie, you know this. All in outside, it's like showbiz.
There will be no Jim Jones disrespect in this chat tonight. That was Balling, We Fly High by the incomparable hip hop artist from the Diplomats, Jim Jones. I hope you guys loved it because he is one of my favorites and I love that song. So, welcome to The Reason with Roz, and I thank you so much for joining. Y'all know I got to take a second to get myself up out of here. And there I go. So let me know if you can hear anything in the background. Of course, there is a fan that is blowing because I am always hot. You know how that is when you're over 40, over 41, over 42. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at over 42. So sometimes when you're over that age, you get a little hot. Thank you so much for the people who have joined early in the chat. Jay Jackson, aka Action Jackson, Lionel Suggs, of course, and the many more who are coming. I am going to already. The night has not even started yet. Hasn't started yet. But already we have someone saying ill marriage. The topic said marriage and beyond. You don't even know what the beyond is, but you already with the ill marriage. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you for your kindness. You see, there are some people in here who would like to throw deuces and smiles and you got it girls and all of that good stuff. Unlike the others that we have in here. But that is okay. So once again, I told you guys that I was going to be 18 minutes late today. I told you guys that on Tuesday, because on Tuesday you guys held me over for 18 minutes. So the black thing in me to do is be late the next show 18 minutes. Not necessarily be late, but I was recouping my time. If you understand what that means, I was recouping my time. It looks like we have the great Stanley Cross in here. Hi, Stanley, and thank you for joining. Happy Saturday to you, and I hope that your Saturday has been going well. Stanley says, I hope your panel of misogynists is ready for me. I hope they are too. I am definitely ready for you. If you guys heard that, that is my Bluetooth going off, but it is okay. So, how has the week been for you guys? So, first of all, let me start off by saying I am looking for a lighter, so give me a second. It's the worst when you have a habit like that and you got to, smoke and stuff, and then you can't find your lighter. You can almost flip a basket case sometimes when you're looking for a lighter. So in order for me not to flip a basket case, just give me a second, y'all. Just give me one hot second. The other thing is when you flip over the ashtray, that is the worst as well. But I am back. I have found the lighter. So how has you guys' week been? I hope that the week has been well for you. Mine has been wonderful. I was here on Tuesday night, and on Tuesday, I told you guys that I had just got out of my cast. Thank Lord have mercy. I was put in a boot. So now I am slowly and surely taking slow steps, just little bitty itty steps. I can't walk without that boot. So you people don't try to run up behind me and cluck me behind my head or anything like that. I ain't got no money on me. I ain't got shit for you. I'm broke as hell. So if you see me, just let a bitch keep on walking. Besides that, I can sleep better at night, you guys. Now I'm not in a big ass boot or a cast that's on top of a pillow that's banging my significant other, but he got to go downstairs and be all on the couch, and no one really likes to sleep alone. So I'm thanking the doctors for giving me a sense of normalcy back. And, thanking all the people who support me, my boo thing, my child, my quote unquote mother-in-law, my family members, all those people that I have here in DC have helped me and support me through this time period. So I am forever grateful for that. Being a person who's very independent, used to doing things on their own and not able, I'm so much independent that I'm like a control freak. That's why I'm always late for these streams. I'm the only person for myself who is posting the pubs in Instagram, posting them to Facebook, sending them to people phone and all that stuff. I'm just a control freak. I don't do my mama and my grandma always say, if you want something done, if you want it done right, or if you want it done to your liking, then you get it done yourself. So that's how I live my life. Most times I would rather do it myself. But in the words of my boo thing, God is teaching me something right now. Teaching me patience. Teaching me stillness. Teaching me to rely on others. And I appreciate it. He hasn't failed me, and the people who he has put in my life to help me during this time haven't failed me either. Blue Jay, Stanley has said hello to you. Hi, Blue Jay. Well, Stanley says hello to Blue Jay. Hi, Blue Jay. And Blue Jay says, my son is in a boot too. LOL. He's so sick of it. It's been 2 months. Oh my gosh, it sucks. I'm gonna be in this boot for 2 months, and then slowly but surely, I don't know what's next, but I know that I'm starting therapy in about 2 weeks. Lionel, ha ha ha. Why am I surprised by the emoji? Roz, are you giving up skating or blading? Stanley, no, I'm not giving up skating or blading. My boo thing talks every single day about it. He's like, oh, I can't wait till you start skating again. If you're in DC, he's the man who's always skating around the city, so you might see him. But I can't wait to get back to skating. I found a new skate club. He and I found it, so definitely want to be a part of that. It's not the first thing I'm gonna get back to. I am really missing running. I love running. It's like just everything for me. So once I can get there, then I'm definitely gonna put on some rollerblades. But yeah, I just bought Loverman some wheels for his rollerblades. So I can't wait to bedazzle mine up and get a new pair and everything. I feel you, Roz. God trolls me. Here we go. He definitely failed me. He did not fail you. He's coming right on time. He will be there. Blue Jay, how's your week going? Blue Jay, Lionel wants to know how your week's going. Lionel is going well. It flew by. So I don't really understand the new age acronyms. TBH. I don't know. How was your week? TBH, the by high, flew by, to be high, to be. I don't really know. To be honest, thank you, Lucy. I would have never known that. To be honest, okay, got it, got it. Everybody saying to be honest, and of course, Lionel is shaking his head. So you guys, I do have notes today. I was sent a video by one of my great supporters or friends that I would consider. I don't like to call everybody supporters and fans, but I will to call this person a friend. So they sent me a video of the great country singer K Michelle. If you guys don't know who K Michelle is, she is a R&B / country singer. When she came out, she transitioned from R&B to country singing. She is born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee, and she now is doing country music. She says that her love has always been country music, and since she's been in that culture and been in that lifestyle, she says that she sees really great differences between the country music lifestyle and the R&B per se lifestyle. So I have a video of her speaking on Cam Newton's podcast, and I'm just gonna play it, and then I'm gonna talk about it. Well, I don't necessarily want to talk about the video per se. The video is the basis for the conversation about marriage and beyond. We don't necessarily want to speak on the video. We don't want to talk about what she wearing. We don't necessarily want to talk about what he got on. If there are things in the video that are key points to you that you want to reference and talk about, please speak on it and reference that in the video. But let's use the video for some context for the subject on marriage and beyond. Okay. So I also want to give a disclaimer that I ain't never really shared a video before. I've never really been a person who likes to share content of others. I'm really not that tech savvy, but we gonna try it today. So soon as I say the video is on, I need y'all to put in the chat, I can hear it or I can't hear it. I can see it or I can't see it. But that video is going to come up shortly. But anyways, what are you saying? To be high, ha ha ha, I'm dead. I thought it was to be a heifer, and Blue Jay turned down my marriage proposal, so now I'm against marriage. So what are you guys' thoughts on marriage exactly? The union of marriage, the social construct of it, the legal aspect of it. Like, you don't necessarily have to say you guys are married or not, because y'all probably got some. I'm not condoning this, but we know it's some people out here who ain't living right. So if you are living right and you don't have no problem professing and proclaiming that you're in a relationship, committed relationship, long-term relationship, or marriage, by all means, go ahead. Rod's girl is rooting you on. But if you know you ain't living right, please don't come up here causing no problems, lying, having baby mamas and baby daddies and all these other dudes and females out there in the world camming up on this link. If you know you ain't living right. So, prior to starting that, coming to this chat, this is the Reason with Roz Girl. I am Roz, and reasoning means let's converse. We don't always have to agree, but we can always disagree to, agree to disagree. Over here, it is a smoking environment. As we can see, I don't condone any drugs or anything of that nature, but it's definitely a smoking environment. So, at your own leisure, at your own nature, go ahead and light it up. It is Saturday night. Some of y'all are parents. Some of y'all ain't got no kids. Some of y'all got significant others. Some of y'all are lonely. Some of y'all are wives and husbands have sadly deceased and gone. Rest in peace to you all. But while you are here tonight, relax with me. Drink at your own leisure. Get some wine. Get some bourbon. In the words of Ivan. Get some moonshine. And my boo thing because he loved the moonshine show. Do all of that. But relax. And hold on. Before that, when we get on the panel, please respect each other. Let's not have racial epithets. Let's not try to curse each other out. Please, we are all adults. Let's respect each other. I am little old me, and I can't fight for y'all. So please. Also, I talk about mental health and mental awareness, so we never know where anybody is in their walk. I myself suffer from bipolar, so there are some things that trigger me. So I'd rather not just have some peace on the panel. Make sure that you hit the like. Make sure that you share the live. Make sure at the end of this live you leave a comment. And you guys, as always, my Cash App is at the bottom. It is 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. Make sure you guys use that. I was thinking that we was going to tax the panel. I was thinking that I would give you guys 10 minutes complimentary. But to my people who donate all the time, you don't got to worry about it. But it's some people up in here, y'all ain't living right. And y'all want to flood the panel with all that nonsense. Y'all don't want to be paying customers or none of that stuff. We have some people who will hit the panel. Stanley, complimentary. You can always hit the panel. Who I would love to hit the panel. But y'all know who y'all are. So, let's see here. I see Mo Love in here, the beautiful Mo Love with her gorgeous, gorgeous voice when she's speaking and talking. I think so. Hey, Mo, thank you for joining. Smitty's Corner is here. Ooh, Lord, did y'all hear the texting in me? I said Smitty's Corner. Smitty's Corner is in here, 0.77. Respect to you, always native. I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out. Thank you so much, Diddy, for joining. Thank you for coming. Ooh, like old Dame Dash Roz, just keep going, sis, with you. Lionel, I love you enough to hope you find a wife who can give you a baby. That's right. Hey, Mo. Mo is saying hi to the chat. Stanley says, I pro traditional marriage, oddly enough. That is great. I pro marriage as well. Hey, Mo Love. That's good to hear that people are pro marriage. Shout out to the married folks. Yes, indeed. I hope to marry again. That is wonderful, Blue Jay. That is so good. So I hope that this conversation will go great for some. I see No Chaser in there. It's been a long time, and I'm so glad I can say your name now. Thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate you, and I'm glad to see you in the chat. Stanley says it's going to be all roasty in that chat of spirit. Oh, God, Young Roz, you're here early. Thank you for joining. Okay, you guys. So marriage is a legal and social recognized union between two people. It's a formal commitment. Most times it's a ceremony, and that ceremony is supposed to be intended for this enduring bond between two people. Some people in this world think that or believe that marriage is between three people, the husband, the wife, and God himself. There are those who go to the courthouse, of course, and get legally married, and then there are those who don't necessarily do that. Um, if you are married, the way that you, of course, get out of a marriage, and I don't have to tell you guys, but of course, it is divorce decree by paper in the Bible. If you are Christian, if you are religious, God says a divorce decree to have it written down in the paper. And in God's words, the only reason that a man or woman should divorce each other is for adultery, meaning that your husband or wife cheated on you. So for adultery, for the Christian Bible. Now in the world, you can go and get a divorce. And many people don't necessarily incorporate scripture or any type of religious belief or faith or practice religious belief or faith in their marriage. So at times, those people usually, they can divorce for anything: money, horrible attitude, kids, disagreements, unruliness, or the quote unquote irreconcilable. Help me in the chat. Help me. Irreconcilable differences. Yeah, y'all know what I'm trying to say. I know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, what's to consider when you are to be married? Being honest, things like finances, children, communication style. You don't want to be loving on somebody and dating on somebody, and when you marry them, you and that person can't communicate. Y'all arguing every day. You can't decide to pay a bill, can't decide to make a decision together, can't decide on a vacation. And also like that person's individual needs. What can hinder people from irreconcilable? Thank you, Stanley. It is irreconcilable differences. Now, I told y'all last show that I was in speech as a child, and I also got a list. So it's going to be some words that I fumble over. And irreconcilable is one of them words. Well, thank you very much, Stanley, for helping me. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Blue Jay, as well. So one of the things that also can hinder people from marriage: money, debt, education, parenting styles, and bringing future families. Also, social barriers, changing of the norms. A lot of people today don't really, quote unquote, believe in the institution of marriage or the legality of marriage. I don't know if that's because it's 2025 or whatever, or because it's the 2000s, but they don't. Also, what else can hinder you? Economic barriers. That man or that woman, whomever they feel needs to be financially or economically suitable. And once again, the personal factors. Things to consider, I would always say, is manage the person ability to manage stress, the person's ability to communicate, the pressure from the family, if they want to be with you, if they want to be with somebody else, if they're pressuring that person not to get married and all that stuff, if they pressuring them to be single or unattached. But marriage is between you and that person. Know that when you do get married to somebody, you're taking on that person, that family, their debt, their issues prior to everything that y'all probably haven't gotten to, but it is a real thing. They say that in this world, not many people are getting married who necessarily look like me. They say that it's problematic for those that look like me for marriage. So I had some stats here from USA Facts. And it says that in 2024, 41% of households were headed by married couples. They also, now, let me see, because I don't want to go into it. They also say that both men and women are marrying later in life. And in 2024, the average age for the first marriage was 30, and for men, and 28 for women. The census has basically tracked that. So this is where USA Today, USA Facts is getting their information from. They say that marriage has declined across all races and ethnicities. Asian men and women are the most successful when it comes to marriages. They are at a whopping 60% of Asian men and 62% of Asian women who are married. That is by far a lot. When it comes to the Hispanic men and Hispanic women, they say that has decreased 10% from 1990 to 2024. So now it's at 11% for women and men of Hispanic culture. The white woman and man has also dropped. They're basing this on 1990 to now. So in 1990, it was 62%. And in 2024, it is now 54% for white people, white or Caucasian. But it was interesting that it says that Black men and women have historically had the lowest marriage rates among all races and ethnicities. For Black men, that rate dropped from 41% in 1990 to 37%. And for Black women, it dropped from 40 in 1990 to in 2024, 33%. So those are the facts that I have on marriage. I'm not going to get into all the personal things of marriage. You guys can definitely, when we come up here, talk about that. I want to show this video that K. Michelle is referencing. In the video, she talks about a lot of things. So we're going to let it play for a minute. As I mentioned, I've never shared a video before. So we're going to see how this goes, okay?
Your show, they was like, light his ass up. His ass up. Tell him the truth. People like your significant other. They've liked her before y'all have become a couple.
For sure.
Can y'all hear
and
that?
Some things that she has said,
I'm not sure if
you know, might have offended
can y'all hear that?
women in other ways.
Can y'all
like,
see
you know,
the video?
and now
Can y'all hear the video?
So now you're in this situation that you made fun about.
Right. And now all of a sudden you done switched up.
Yeah, you done switched up. But I'm telling you, it's something
Y'all
called
hear
being
it?
dick drunk.
Okay.
That dick. Oh, hallelujah, that dick. It will make you see things differently, do things differently, and just love in general.
You have to understand growth is needed.
Mm-hmm.
And my heart goes out to my first baby mother, Kia. Cause like I love her. Like that's my nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Sometimes she may not receive that. I mean, I pour myself into women more so than men.
Okay.
And I need it. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm going everywhere, but I'm trying to bring us back. Being in my position when you're the person everybody pulls from, your charging station for me has always been women.
But that's why there's this thing and there's this balance. Like, you know, I'm the one in my family that takes care of everybody, all the family. When you come home, you want to be, like you said, your charging station. Yeah. That's your charging station. You want someone to pour into you and to give that to you and this and that. What I think is happening with women right now, can we be honest about what women are dealing with?
Yeah.
Women are making more money than men.
Mm-hmm. That's challenging.
Yes.
That
women,
challenges the
if you're
normalcy.
going to bring me hell and I can pay my own bills, it's not worth it. Women are going through this whole different thing of, you know, what it is. Like I see my parents who've been together forever. I get to witness a traditional, you know, old school type of love. But nowadays, what we're witnessing city girls, we're witnessing this and that. And it's like the genders are doing this.
Clashing.
And it's like a hot topic and this and that. Yeah, it's cute. It's a hot topic. But it is really destroying families. When I go, okay, think about this. Being in Nashville all this time, well, being in Atlanta all this time and then going to Nashville where it's predominantly white. One, they go home at 5 and 6 o'clock. when they're producing because they go home to their families. Being a country singer, if you are a singer in country music, you're a man. If you are not married, it is not respected. Family is respected in country music in that space. But in our space, we are singing about side chicks. We are glorifying a lot of women. That's not what happens in Nashville. You can't call a woman a bitch, a hoe in Nashville because they'll never even listen to your music and your professional career will suffer. At what point in the Black community do our men create real homes? And even talking, just our first time talking, and you said you didn't even mean for that to happen. Life happens. I'm not here to judge life. I'm looking at a successful Black man that has the ability to literally turn the narrative on Black family, you know? Mm-hmm. And my grandfather, I watched my uncles and everything. My whole family, they're married. I'm not the girl who didn't see what a man creating a Black family is supposed to be. So I'm asking right now, Black men, I got to tell my Black men to really step up for Black women and create families. Yeah. It's really not cool. Black men are attacking Black women. And it's not a cool, they're not creating homes. They're creating babies everywhere. It's not cool. And I'm asking you, other successful Black men, to be, you have to set an example as leads. The cute social media back and forth on Black women. Black women are strong. Black women are where you come from, this and that. So there probably isn't any sympathy for you and just life happening because there's so many other things around you going on that are not fair to Black women. What is going on with the Black family? We are consistently creating the cycle of kids who can't come home and see their daddy there. And they see their mama sad at night. At what point is the successful Black man in this world going to step in and really create structure? I see white men doing it every day. I get to witness the best of both worlds every day. Getting on stage singing R&B, being here in Atlanta, I get to sing R&B, but then I get to go to Nashville and be like, you mean you ain't staying out till 6 a.m? You gonna go home to your family, you gonna write this song and leave at 5 and 6 because you gonna take care of your family and your wife? At what point do the successful Black men build Black families? We ain't gonna ever have a Black family if y'all don't do it. We're never gonna have it. It's just not gonna happen. So if your mentality is, yes, things happen, and I'm not knocking you for that. I didn't come here for that. But at what point do you take that Black woman? Do you be at a home and show your kids what it's like, you know? At what point do you take a grip to it, not make excuses for it or mantras and things like that? It is so unfair to Black women who have been the strength and builders of so many things. And I know life happens. You can't be with somebody you don't want to be with or whatever, but my grandparents did it. My grandfather, 92, died when he was 92, my best friend. I never seen another type of man. That's why I've turned down 3 rings because they wasn't like my grandpa. My grandfather raised 9 kids on his own because my grandmama died before I could even meet her.
Okay, I think we saw enough because I am about to sit up here and play with K Michelle. But I didn't mean to cut her off. But you guys get the gist of what K Michelle is saying. Once again, if you guys do not know who K Michelle is, she is a R&B singer. Started off in R&B, and now she is a country singer. Country music is predominantly quote unquote Caucasian. I want to say performed and all of that stuff, but people of all races and listen to it because I love country music. But she is saying basically that in country music, because of that that racial look or that demographic, I'm sorry, that racial demographic, the men are more focused on their families and building families, and white men do that. And Cam Newton himself is a man who has about 8 kids, so he speaks candidly about not having being in the home with his children, and how he should build his home, build a family. So when she's saying things and looking at him with all this passion, she's also speaking to him because early on in the video, he talked about how he has so many kids and how he's trying to right his wrongs by, doing a family together. But Kay is basically saying that black men out here are not creating families. They don't have structure, and they don't want to do it. So I am going to look at some comments now. It says she's trying to get accolades from the white community because she is now in the country community, and she has a song stating she f's them all, can't take her seriously. Sis gets on my nerves. Hey, here for the tea, and thank you for joining. A lot of people are saying they can't take her seriously. Roz, what do you got us watching? Hey, that came to me in the DM, so I thought that you guys we could base that off of something. Basically, some of the questions would be: is it in the black community not to have families, and is there some truth to what it is that K Michelle is saying? Y'all know K Michelle been in these streets, and I don't necessarily know if K is married now. I just know what she is talking about. Marriage doesn't necessarily always work for everybody, and for those who it doesn't work for, I just want to know, are people into alternatives, like alternative lifestyles, alternative marriage agreements? Are they even knowledgeable of that? So the title is Marriage and Beyond, and the beyond part is the other institutions that go into this, where people don't necessarily want to be married or put it on paper and all that stuff, but there are some other institutions that have legalities to it, and you can do it in certain states. One of those being domestic partnerships. It's a legally recognized status, and in some states and jurisdictions, it's for unmarried couples of the same sex or opposite sex, committed in relationships and living together. It provides some, but not all, the rights and benefits of a marriage, and it has access to health insurance, hospitals, all that stuff. So if you had a domestic partnership, you can put your partner on your insurance at your job and all these types of things. So, because a lot of times people have been in relationships for so long, and because they don't get married, they don't get recognized as that person's partner. And then with this domestic partnership, it says, however, it's not federally recognized, and the specific rights and benefits vary by jurisdiction. Examples of those states that recognize domestic partnerships are California, District of Columbia, Maine, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, and Wisconsin. There are also things known as civil unions. The civil union is also a legal, recognized partnership that grants many of the same rights and responsibilities of a marriage, but it is typically recognized only on the state level. So you can get this in paper and in writing with your partner. You don't have to be in relationships for 10, 11, and 12 years because they don't want to marry you. There are other options that you can present to them if this is foreseeable for you guys. So I want to ask that too. Like, are the other options foreseeable? Is it sustainable? Is it worth it? If you're with somebody and you want marriage, they don't want to give that to you, so you settle or you take this. It says for civil unions, it's available for both sexes, heterosexual and homosexual, in states like Colorado, Hawaii, Illinois. Similar to domestic partnerships, civil unions offer some marriage-like benefits, but don't provide federal benefits such as Social Security or survivor benefits. So if your partner dies, you're not going to get his retirement check or her retirement check. You're not going to get any Social Security benefits if they have a pension or none of that. You're not going to get that. So in these type of partnerships, you need to make sure that your partner writes out a will and all this stuff. Know how important they are to you. There's also a cohabitation agreement if you don't want to get married, and that's a contract between two people who live together, just as it says, but are not married. They are outlining each partner's rights and responsibilities in the relationship, and it could be a protection of assets, financial obligations, dictate how property, debt, and money will be handled during relationships. Then you have common law marriages. I think most people know about the common law marriages. It's recognized in all different kind of states, but it's established and grants couples the same rights and responsibilities as a traditional marriage, including the need for divorce on paper to legally end the relationship and be recognized. So if these dudes or men out here is dating y'all for a while and they don't want to get married, trust and believe there are other options. But based on what K Michelle has said tonight, what are you guys' thoughts on that? What do you think about marriage? What do you think about her view on marriage in regards to the black man and the white man? Because she says now that she gets the best of both worlds. So I don't necessarily know what the best of both worlds is when she says that. I don't know if she's dating two men or if that means she's in R&B, and because she's in country, that's why she gets the best of both worlds. I'm trying to figure it out, but I don't think a lot of people are getting married. My parents have been married for 30 plus years, grandparents, all of that stuff. I think that marriage is, a wonderful institution between two people who want that. But I also think that there are other unions that can work for people. Culturally, people don't want to get involved in that system of the law that has to involve marriage, and socially, people don't want to get involved with the legalities that come with marriage. So I can definitely understand it. But Kay Michelle talks about her grandfather being that man, that old school man, and she doesn't see that man anymore. Hey, Seven, thank you for joining. And she doesn't see that man anymore. My thing is, I often hear women say they don't see that man anymore. Men ain't men no more. Men out here not doing this, they ain't working, they complaining. But my question is, do we also see that woman, that old school woman, that nurturing woman who waited for the man to court her and date her, who waited for the man to take her out, who required a man to have to come to meet her parents, required the man to be visible and do things for her? Like, are the women out here living with standards now, living with requirements? Or are they so afraid from this new age talk that being lonely that they don't have it anymore? So they settle for anything. They settle for long-term relationships with men that are not going to marry them because they don't want to lose that man or lose that situation. And on the essence, are men doing the same thing? They often say that, now this is some bullshit. First of all, let me say that this is some bullshit. I think it's some bullshit. But I'm quoting it because if I'm in this YouTube land and y'all see it, I see it, I know y'all see it. They say that women control sex, men control the marriage. I think the whole shit is bullshit. But in regards to all of that, are the women living with standards, requiring men to show up stoic, requiring men to show up financially stable, requiring men to show qualities of a family. Are men looking for women who are nurturing, childbearing, agreeable? Are they looking for that? There are so many conversations going on. There are so many traditional, quote unquote, men who want traditional women. But these men aren't traditional. These men are modern. These men are 50-50 men. These men are men who don't want children. These men are men who don't want to have a legacy. These are men who want to have and sleep with condoms every night with their wives. These are men who don't want to step into that light. And then you have women who are doing the same. You have women who are, I see you in the back, Mo. Give me 1 second. You have women who are proposing to men, proposing to men, getting on one knee and proposing to men. Is that what marriage is about? Like this new age marriage? Is that marriage? Like I'm trying to figure it out. And what does it say about the man who accepts the proposal from the woman? Because I think that when a man gives himself to you or wants to take your hand in marriage, he's saying, I want to take you, provide for you, protect you, do what your daddy ain't gonna do for you no more. It is me. Your daddy can trust me. So when a woman says, baby, you the man I've been waiting for all my life, and she get on one knee and put a ring on the hand, what is she saying? Is she saying, I'm about to take you and take care of you for life? Is she saying, you no longer have to do those responsibilities? I'm going to do it because I'm asking for your hand in marriage? What type of shit? Thank you, Mo, for joining the panel. Happy Saturday to you. How are
Happy
you doing?
Saturday. Good. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much for always showing up and always being available. So glad to see you. I know you saw the K Michelle video and I saw your comments and stuff. So what do you think about it and your thoughts on marriage?
K Michelle first or the whole marriage thing?
Wherever you want to go. You can go with K Michelle first.
Let's start with K. Okay, so K Michelle said things that I believe are true, right? But I don't think that it was coming from a genuine space. She is now into country music. She wants to win the favor of the whites. Shout out to her, right? And she mentioned we got people like city girls. They don't promote family. White people go home to their families. Perfect thing to say, right? When you're in country music. But again, you have songs saying you don't love them, you F them all. It's the hypocrisy and contradiction for me. And then you sitting up there in that dress with your nips out trying to distract Cam. I'm just saying how I see it. I feel like there was a lot of attention seeking behavior, if I'm honest. The tears didn't feel not one of the teardrops. Uh yeah, so that's my take. And then I feel like it came off as very judgmental. Um if you want to hold Cam accountable and men as a whole, we also as women have to look in the mirror. You're also a baby mama. I think you on mute, Rise. You also a baby mama, right? So let's just keep it real. You don't get to hold the men to a certain standard that you don't hold yourself to. And what else? I think people will be more receptive if you say, I'm not perfect either. Once upon a
Yeah.
time, like I was a baby mama or my relationships failed. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people are more likely to be receptive to what you're saying when you're also transparent. But she
Yeah.
came off as if she gets to judge everybody. No, man,
Mm-hmm.
you have
Yeah.
your flaws too, you know?
Yep.
That's why when it
I mean,
comes to the topic of marriage, I'm very careful with that, you know,
yeah.
because I'm divorced. So you just got to know your lane. And I just felt like, hey, Michelle was all over the place.
Yeah.
You got them
So
views, though.
I got the impression that she was looking for a Chad too. I couldn't understand why she kept saying black men don't have structure. And my thing is, if she saw her grandfather do it, then she knows that it's possible. So it could be more so in her life. She hasn't created it for her son that she had. Another thing is that
Right.
she also says that she got 3 proposals. I oftentimes try to find out what is the point that the woman is trying to prove by saying I was proposed so many times, but never accepted
Yeah.
the proposal, but is still complaining about marriage. That never, for me, it never, comes together.
So is that true? Like, or is that just a way for women to make themselves feel like, oh, I could have been a wife? Like, that's easy to say. Still
Yeah.
doesn't. Were
So,
you married though, sis? Like, you get
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, in this interview, K Michelle says, I was proposed to 3 times, and I was proposed to 3 times, but they were weak. They was not the man I needed. And I've oftentimes heard other women on panels and in discussions talk about they basically feel that because they have been proposed to, then that validates them and that makes them wifely or makes them a wife. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think I don't agree with that. Like, what is the point of that? I guess to say like I could have been a wife too.
Yeah, I guess so.
End of the day, you still never obtained the marriage, though.
Hmm. So this new culture, we're in the 2000s. You used to have they would say back in the day. So my grandfather is 86 and my mother is 60. So
Oh, that's a
they would say,
blessing.
thank you. They would say back in the day that those women would not the grandparents would go through a lot. They would bear a lot of children. They would work all day in the home, and the man literally went to work and to take care of his family and come back home to provide for his wife. And those women went through that, whether he was out all night working or doing whatever, they did that. And in the end, they ended up with this man who took care of them for life, basically. Or when he passed away, he was still taking care of him. And they raised great kids and things of that nature. What do you think is different from that culture than the culture that's presented now when they speak of marriage?
I think I'm freezing. Maybe I'm freezing. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I think we have so many people are selfish now. A
Hmm.
lot of people operate out of individualism, and people were more. I guess they focused more on the concept of unity back then. I also think that social media has played a huge part in uh, division and all
Hmm.
these different thought processes when it comes to relationships and marriages.
Hmm.
Um, we also people are more open now. I feel like a lot of things were suppressed back then.
Hmm.
Even if they wanted to leave or if things were not right, they just became settled in it and they never spoke up. So I just think that it's multifaceted. It's hard for me to say it's just one thing. There are so
Hmm.
many,
Hmm.
dynamics to that.
Okay. Another question that I have, I just mentioned the many different alternative lifestyles that people have um, other than marriage. I mentioned the domestic partnerships, the simple unions, the long relationships where you can go to the court and get some type of legality written down on it. Do you think that that should be recognized as something that is true and wholesome in regards to a marriage, or do you think that is settling because the marriage couldn't come?
Um,
If you're doing everything that you would do in a marriage.
uh, oh, it's this hard to answer because I know that different things work for different people, but based
Hmm.
on my beliefs, I wouldn't just want to go off of um wordplay or just spiritual marriage. I don't know. Maybe I've been Americanized, but I
Mm-hmm.
believe in marriage by law, and with the paper that people claim is not uh, that serious. But also, when I look at, I've observed some of the things that some of the men closest to me have gone through in my family. I can
Mm-hmm.
understand why they will be hesitant
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to, the
And
whole concept.
why do people think the paper isn't that serious? What are your thoughts about that? Why do they think that paper isn't that serious?
I know a lot of men are afraid. They feel like 9 times out of 10, if a divorce takes place, the judicial system normally does favor the women.
Mm-hmm.
So they're automatically thinking like, what do I have to lose? So
Mm-hmm.
um, it's a lot to consider. Sometimes I do also think men use, oh, we're spiritually married, we're together. I'm dropping stuff. My whole makeup bag. But they'll say, we're together
Mm-hmm.
and this is that. But I also think that it could be a manipulation tactic for men
Oh
to just
yeah.
walk away clean and free.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell me anything, child. Okay, if I'm just going off for we married, if people say, oh, we're married, we don't need this and that, child, I'm married too then. That's
Yeah.
easy. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, I just don't agree with that. I don't know. But at the same time, I can see why men feel away,
Uh-huh.
because there are female users out here and they'll take a man for everything that they got. So
Definitely.
mm-hmm.
Do you think that, I know that you don't like this question and I've heard you voice it before. So if you don't want to answer it, I completely understand. But do you think that women or men more so initiate the end of a marriage?
Okay, so I know when we look at statistics, they say women file
I
for
spirit.
divorce more, right? And that's
Mm-hmm.
true. However, we never talk about the in betweens. It's cute to blame women for filing for divorce, but why? What really initiated? What were the actions that took place that led to the divorce? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I think women generally do file for a divorce more. Yeah, they'll initiate it. A lot of
Mm.
times, men will just stay because they're thinking about what they have to lose. A lot of times, from a financial standpoint.
Oh wow. Thank you for that, Mo. I do appreciate that. You guys, thank Mo for her input on the panel. Mo does have her own
Thank you,
channel
Mo.
where she talks about I believe is it Christian talk as well as like mental health also. So you guys make sure that you,
It's Yes, mental health and Bible based.
yeah, Bible based. I said Christian talk. So make sure you guys check her out, and she's also a moderator in the chat. We have Spirit Oliver on the panel right now. Hi, Spirit, and happy Saturday to you.
Hey.
Hey, happy Saturday.
So we are talking about marriage and beyond. Beyond is the other institutions that people don't actually take on, like domestic partnerships, civil unions, things of that nature, where they can go to court and get it on paper. They decide not to get married. So I played a video of K Michelle earlier. I'm not sure if you saw it or seen it on Instagram, but she's talking about marriage, seeing white people get married in country music, and seeing black people in R&B, how black men are not creating families. So what are your thoughts on marriage, or K Michelle if you saw the video?
I did see the video. I did see the video. I seen the whole video with Kim Lee, and I like K Michelle. I do. I like her. I do. That interview was, I think, what we needed. I do. I think that's the interview we needed. We needed that. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, so you think that we needed that from K Michelle?
Because ain't nobody talking about it.
So do we know if K Michelle is married? Let me see if K Michelle is married.
K Michelle is not married.
She's not
K
married.
Michelle been through some things.
Oh, okay. So, what can you point out some things from K Michelle's take that was needed, that needed to be spoke on, that haven't been?
It's just really fucked up out here. I'm gonna just say it. Fuck. It's just really fucked up. Like for me, for instance, like some people know me, some people don't. During COVID, I lost both of my lovers a month apart. Like, and these people I've been with for years. And baby, since they been gone, whew, the way things is going, those type of games people is out here playing today, love don't live here no more. I done had to stand up too long by myself, and it's hard. I tried to move on, but it is so, the dating game out here is so hard, and I don't even come with no baggage. I come with my own bag.
Mm-hmm.
Just sad.
Understand. Spirit, it seems like your mic is muffled. Do you mind going in and coming back out really fast? Or do you have on Bluetooth?
I have on Bluetooth because I am currently in Dallas and I'm
Oh, yeah, you are in Dallas.
funky town. Yes, I'm in
Okay.
Dallas. Right? Can y'all hear me better? No, I got both earbuds in. Can y'all hear me better?
We can hear you, just don't move too much. You should be good.
Well, these
So
headphones
I
too. I
heard
got
Kay
them from
Michelle say
Kentucky.
that the black men are not creating structure in the home, and you say that it's hard for you out here. Are you I guess in search of a husband?
I would love to get married. The thing is,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of shameful to be getting married at almost at 40. After 40, a lot of us are getting married after 40. A lot of us are becoming parents all over again after 40. Like they're like saying like 40 is the new 20. It's more 40-year-olds having babies than there is teenage girls.
You said that people are saying 40 is the new 20.
Yeah, more girls are having
Oh,
babies. More
Wow.
ladies are having babies. More ladies are having babies in their 40s than teenage girls are having babies today. Look at you. Look, come on. I don't sound weird.
mm-hmm.
That's weird, you know, to be 40
I've
years
seen
old
a
and
lot of,
having a baby. Or after that, Janet Jackson was 50 years old when she had her son.
yeah, Janet Jackson had a
Come on.
contract though. Her
They be
husband,
rich too, and they can
yeah,
afford
he
the
said that
doctor.
she needed to stay married to him for at least 10 years and bore him a baby. And then she could get out the marriage after like 5 years. And he gave her like 50 million or $50 billion or something.
Man.
Yeah, I probably could have took that one on too.
Yeah, and I'm still
Because
willing to
of
pop
a
me a few
baby,
out now. I'm willing to pop out more kids. I still can have kids. I have one child. And
mm-hmm.
I ain't had her till I was 30.
Yeah, I didn't have my first child until I was 33. So this is my question, Spirit. Do you think women are now having some type of requirements and standards, or are they taking on anything? Should people date to be married, or should people date to just have a great time?
They should date to marry. I'm dating to marry, but none of these motherfuckers seem marriage material. One
And
guy
what
that I'm actually interested in, I can speak for myself. One guy that I'm actually interested in, he has been married 3 times already. The fuck?
so Jennifer, someone says that 40 is the old 40. Do not kid yourself.
Shoot, I don't care. I'm living my best life. I try to go to the club every weekend. I ain't on this show, so he need to go sit down in the back, baby. Please. A lot of people my age is out having enjoyed their life because you better.
Hey, Michael
You gonna
Douglas
sit there and
Spirit,
wish
thank
you
you for
didn't. You gonna
joining.
sit there and wish you did. And I ain't gonna be one of those that wish I did. I sat down all my 20s and just worked and took care of myself. Ain't no way I'm finna sit down now. Not now. True.
I'm gonna
Every
come.
weekend I try to go out.
Child, please.
Uh-uh.
Urban Lounge podcast says, from women point of view, what structure should black men create in the home? That's the question that I would like to know. Um, a job and maturity for starters is, I believe, is what Stanley's saying, and he says women are at they're most unstable right now. So I wanted to know that K Michelle said that the men are not have do not create structure. What should I don't know if she's saying structure is what she needs in her life, and that's what marriage would give to her. But if you think that structure is a component of marriage, then what does structure look like from a man?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking both you ladies.
Okay, I'll be quiet. Alice, you would like to go?
I can wait.
More love. Okay. Well, for structure wise, I would say the man in the household leading and the woman following. I'm with it. My grandparents was married. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother was with my grandfather since she was 14 years old. They had 10 kids and raised all, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he was there to teach them. Actually, I'm out here in Dallas working. My child is with me because I'm all she got. And I'm teaching her, showing her what I do.
Yeah.
You know, it's different, but it's I mean the structure from a male and then raising male is well needed in the household because a lot of people get caught up in these streets and this ain't what they think. And I mean we need more positive male. I don't care if your daddy go to work every day and work as a garbage truck driver. If daddy go to work every day and he's showing you you gotta go to work, man. You can't be on the block every day or showing you how to treat a lady. You know what I'm saying? Seeing your daddy come home from work tired, your mama got the food made, and he running there to give her a big hug, get a kiss. Baby, what's for dinner? Telling her about what happened at work. You know what I'm saying? They exchange the story. That type of thing. You know what I'm saying? They need to see that so they know my daddy ain't treat my mama like that. You know what I'm saying? This man today, the man today growing up, seeing his mama boyfriend pummel her.
Mm,
Instead of uplifting her, he bringing her down. But he's supposed to
yeah.
respect this man to be there. They not seeing their daddy in there loving on their mama. Not too many. Those that do, kudos to you. Period. What he
Oh,
said, can you go back?
Huh?
Okay.
and what do you think? What does structure look like for you, Mo?
Structure to me, structure, a man providing good structure, it looks like a great provider. And provider, I don't mean only from a financial standpoint. I mean providing a sense of effective communication. Like people need to feel that they are heard. Um, Great emotional support. You know, a lot of times we wonder why the curses and the trauma continues. It's because of what the children are seeing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so just being a good provider, just not conforming to a lot of what we see. I think that has a lot to do with why the world is in such turmoil too. Um, yeah, I think that there's a lack of good communication, a lack of emotional support when it comes to marriages and the whole family dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that has really done a number on us when we think about it.
Mm-hmm. And so I'll answer the question too. So, y'all know for me what I think about it. I think that the woman's supposed to show up helpless in the relationship and show her womanly qualities, her inherited qualities that she gets from her from in life as a woman. So show that she is nurturing, voluptuous, can cook, clean, smart. Aid and all that. I believe that when a man comes into your life, he gives you structure. So oftentimes I called myself a wayward woman because I was single for like a very long time. And I like to date now, like I like to date, but I was dating and then I was celibate for a very long time. But I feel that when a man comes into your life, he changes that waywardness. He structures your life where you're spending time with him and you're not out on the weekends. He's giving you some type of routine and things for your life as far as like um everyday things, waking up on a routine. If y'all start to cohabitate, he's taking over, making sure that the income is in the house, or that however y'all decide to pay bills, you both are having the income, but he's going to take the burden of that. You know, having all those things in line. I think that the man is supposed to take care of all of that.
Mhm.
To me, that is
And
a structure.
I second that the most, Roger girl. I
I feel
second
like
that.
the man comes in the house and he instills the discipline in the children through the structure that he provides. The woman more so caters often to the kids' emotions and needs and things of that nature. But the man in the household is going to be that disciplinarian. I love telling my partner, "Oh, I have apprehension, but whatever you decide, I'm going to follow it. I'm cool with that." Like that's that type of stress that I don't
Right.
necessarily want to carry, that he takes over and things of that nature. So that's what I think of when it comes to structure of a man, and I think that the woman should be a willing participant, because to me it's somewhat, if it's a great provider or a man who wants to be a husband and do for you, then it could possibly be a good ride if you hold up your end of the bargain too. Any thoughts on that?
I have a thought.
Yes, go ahead.
So my thought is I agree with you 100%. But here's the catch 22.
What's
I'm
up?
not gonna take care of you.
Yeah, no, you're
If
not
you
supposed
ain't
to
gonna
take
come in
care of me.
here and do what you're supposed to do, you can get from around me. You might get hit with a pot in the pan or something. Because that's what's going on. They ain't getting hit with pots and pans no more. See? That's the problem. But
So
no,
we,
I'm just
so
bullshitting.
So I did mention what we did mention, go over what we think the man instills in structure in the life. So what is it that you think the woman should be providing, or what is it that she should have that says I'm a wife, or I'm this lifetime partner? Like we're always talking about, the man needs to provide, the man needs to
Okay.
provide. What
I
should
can
the
I can I can I can I can piggyback on that. I'm actually in a situation with someone like that. Certain stipulations keeps us from being together. I told him I come with my own bag, and I'm willing to accept you in any way, shape, or form. But I come with my own bag. I'm not lazy. I don't need you to take care of me. We can have so much more. We can have a whole lot more. I really like this person a lot, but like I said, I know they gonna come with it. They got their own everything. I don't want to deal with nobody that don't have nothing. I'm trying to get somewhere, and I think the person kind of admire me for that. But it's stipulations as to why we can't be together. And I will. I feel like this person that I'm talking about, I can follow their lead. I can follow their lead. If they tell me what to do and how to do it, I can follow their lead.
You're on mute, Rise. I think, yeah. You muted, hun.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, I was saying,
Uh,
does that person want to lead someone?
yep. But here's the thing. I feel like this is how I feel. I feel like the person they would love to lead, but they've been through something, and it might when they get to a good person like me, they might be burnt out.
So would you propose to a man, Jennifer?
No,
Mo, would you ever propose to a man?
Rise. You know I would not. No.
So when do what do you think of the woman who proposes to a man? And dog salute, thank you for joining. What do you think about the woman who proposes to a man? What is that saying about today's woman? Is she
can I answer that?
Um,
too masculine?
Yes, she is too masculine. She need to go sit her manly ass down somewhere because who the fuck made this shit up? I can see if you just as a bitch with a whole lot of money, and a woman with a whole lot of money, you want to do that for your man. But damn, a lot of these bitches
Oh
making the
no.
same comment. I wish I'd be your lifetime partner before I get on one knee and propose to me. I ain't to get down and rub your feet, but I ain't finna get down and propose to you.
Mm. So if I told you I wanted to propose to my dude, would you and you know me, Jennifer, what would you tell me?
I ask you what the fuck wrong with you.
Sister. Oh, y'all cute with dreads and
Hey,
braids. Look at
Hey
y'all.
T.
Y'all
I
need to
love
get
everybody.
some locks or
I
some
love
braids.
that
Saturday.
not African. Ain't that something? Can you
Period.
Oh,
hey
oh,
T,
oh, no, I'm sorry. Happy Juneteenth, y'all.
Happy
Oh, yeah.
Juneteenth.
thank you
Look
very
at us
much.
out here just ain't even acknowledging our people.
I'm so
Well,
eager to respond to the question, Rise.
go ahead, Bo, and then I'm gonna welcome T on the panel.
Okay. Oh my God. Like, I feel like if a woman has to propose, like, that speaks volumes in itself. He doesn't
Yeah.
see you as wifey material. Like, if a man wants to marry you, he is going to do just that. And I also think that speaks to the level of desperation, no shade,
Ooh.
when it comes to women. Like, you're that desperate to where you're willing to get on one knee and ask this man. That just put that's too much in a vulnerable position. First of all, I already look stupid getting on one knee, and don't let you say no. I'm not going to put myself in there.
Right, the fuck? You gonna be crushed like you gonna be crushed so hard he say no. And you
Yeah,
can't be mad because you should have
yeah.
never did that. And then I got this to say too. How many of our grandmothers ever just say, yeah, I proposed to your granddaddy on a
Hmm.
Friday night?
Hmm,
Come on now.
right. You're right. Hey
No.
T, thank you for joining the panel and happy Saturday to you.
Hey, Roz. How
I
you
love that.
doing?
I'm well. I love that not African. If you don't
Good.
mind, could you elaborate
Okay.
on what that means?
Sure. Hey, ladies on the panel. Hey, sis. Hey,
Hey, you
Spirit.
look cute, girl.
Thank you. Hey, chat. Okay, so not African. It came from um really tethers. To be honest with you, ca-
Mm.
calling me African and other people like myself, African meaning Black Americans, we did not originate or come from Africa. My people have been here since before
Okay.
Columbus, or at least around the time.
You
Definitely
feel the
before.
same way I feel. I'm more. I ain't no
So
African.
yeah, so you know what I mean. So I hate when people say, "Oh, y'all all came from Africa." Now, once upon a time, everybody did come from Africa, but that was thousands and thousands and thousands.
Mm-hmm.
That's before Jesus Christ even was born. So
Mm.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the last 500 to 700 years. My people have been over here
Thank
for the
you.
longest. And baby, I don't have no ties to Africa. I don't know nothing about the culture, to be honest with you, unless I look it up on Google or YouTube, or if I ask my friends who are married Africans. Other
Miss
than that,
T,
I don't have no connection. Period.
T,
Not African.
can I piggyback off of that?
Sure,
Do you
go ahead.
know people? I've been feeling in my bones for a long time about that, and I'm gonna bring it to your attention. Have you ever watched the movie Roots?
Yeah.
I have.
Okay, do y'all know when Toby meets his wife Belle, and she tell he get to talk about Africa? You gotta catch that message. A lot of people didn't catch it. That woman
Yeah,
said,
I
"Oh,
was a
my people been
kid.
here. My people been here." She said, "Oh,
Yep.
nah, I'm not from Africa. My people
Uh-huh.
been here."
Yeah,
She was
as a
descendant of Moors. A lot of
okay.
slaves was descendant of Moors. You got to go
Mhm.
back and watch that. She tell them clear as day. My people
Mm.
is what's already here before the white man got here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But see, if we get into the Moors thing, it didn't the Moors sell us off into slavery, if we're being like, I don't know the whole history, but like I don't even know if I identify with being a Moor, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I consider myself indigenous, my people indigenous to this land, to this country. So I don't even and you
Go
might be
use that.
more, but my people were here, they're indigenous, and I don't feel like I have any connection to the Moors. Maybe I do, but I don't feel any connection. I don't know any of the history like that. So, but I do know that
Hmm.
my people are indigenous. And those $5 Indians that they call natives, them ain't it. You know,
Thank you so much for that. Here for the tea, and thank you for the cash app. We
you're
are
welcome.
talking tonight about marriage and more. So my question to you is, what are your thoughts on marriage? And if you saw the K Michelle video, what did you think of that?
Okay, that's it. Okay, so marriage, I think it can be complicated. It can be good. You know, it can be a emotional roller coaster sometimes. It's not perfect, like they put in the movies or whatever. So it's work. It's duty. It's not peaches and cream every day. But if you really love the person and you're willing to work with the person, I think it can be successful and it can work. Um,
Do you think that there's only one type of marriage that should be recognized, or
mm,
should all different alternatives be recognized as a union?
Well, me personally, I don't. People can do what they want, of course, but I don't necessarily agree with the spiritual marriages like people are into lately or have been. I don't know how long it's been a thing, but
Right.
it's been people been talking about it a lot. But I'm not with it because it's kind of like um I don't want to say a cop out, but it's kind of giving a cop out.
It
Like,
is.
and I always use this analogy. Uh, People, you literally have to sign your life over to buy a house.
Mhm.
So it's like, why not? I mean, get married and sign those. It's just a little couple, it's a little document. It is you sign more documents buying a house than you do getting married. But I mean, I guess
I learned
people,
some of that.
yeah, I just think people just make an excuse to say, oh well, I don't want the government tied to my marriage and this and that and the third. Um, and I get that, but also at the same time, the government is tied into everything that we do. So
Everything.
why not tie the government into your marriage? Like, I just think it's a way to get out of signing a document saying that okay, I am serious about this person. I love this person, and we're gonna lock it in for real with the state. And it is what it is. We're gonna make this shit work or not. And if it don't work, get a damn divorce. It is what it is. I
So
mean,
is it
I just
serious? Is it not being serious about signing a document, or not being serious about the person?
um I ooh, that's tough. Because my thing is, if you're not willing to sign a document for me, then you're not serious about me.
Mm-hmm.
I
You're,
agree.
you you know what I'm saying? You don't really rock with me like you
Right.
don't rock with me like that. That's how I feel. So it is what it is.
I agree. And then, did you see the K Michelle video? What did you have any thoughts on that?
Yes. K Michelle is a hypocrite. She's I didn't like it because I feel like she was dragging black men too hard, and she
Mm-hmm.
don't even date black men anymore.
Mm.
So that's the thing that
Wow.
really triggered me the most. Yeah, she said she don't
I
date black
didn't
men
even
no
know
more.
that.
Yeah, if you keep
Wow.
listening to the video, she goes into she'll never date a black man again. She only like white men now. So I'm like, girl, you
I
really need
heard
to
her
shut
say
up at
white
this
men
point.
love her.
Yeah, but that's how she want to date now.
Yeah,
So I'm
girl,
like, girl,
please.
you can't even say anything. I mean, you can. It's a free country, but
Mm-hmm.
girl, we're not listening to you no more. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, you're trashing black men, but yet you don't even want to date
Mm-hmm.
them. Oh, shut up.
Yeah. I often wonder, how can you send a message to, if you date outside the race, how can you send a message to the race that you chose not to date anymore on how to better themselves? Like, hey Michelle,
Mhm.
I no longer want to date black men, but you guys need to
Right.
start building structure for your homes and things of that nature. Like, what
Yeah.
sense does that make? She had the black father, black grandfather. She has a black son.
Hmm.
Um, I believe he's a young adult. So what is she telling him, or what is she showing him that's going to be different from the black man who disgusted her? I asked Spirit Oliver a question. I asked her, do you date? Should people be dating to just date, or should they be dating to get married nowadays?
Yeah, I think people should date with a purpose, especially after a certain age. Like,
Mm.
you know, after 25, you should be dating with a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
My
Mm-hmm.
opinion. You should be
And do
dating
you
to,
believe?
yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying you should be dating for a purpose. You should be dating to get married or commit, to someone like seriously. So, yeah, you should be there with a purpose. It's time's out for the games after 25. That's my opinion.
And is 40 the new 20?
No, because I'm 41 and I don't feel 20 or look 20. Okay, so no, I disagree. Sorry, Spirit.
Maybe
I
30.
agree with
Maybe 40 is the new 30, maybe.
you.
20 is,
Uh,
maybe 20 is, did you, Spirit, that's fresh out of high school almost.
20 is crazy. Like, I'm just thinking about how skinny I was at 20. I damn sure don't look like that no more.
Girl, me too.
We can't hear you that well. You're breaking up, Spirit. I think it's your Bluetooth. And another question that I asked T, nowadays I see a lot of women proposing to men. I don't know what this new craze is, but what are your thoughts on the woman who proposes to a man, and what are your thoughts on the man who accepts that proposal?
I think women proposing to men is, I think a woman who proposes to a man probably has very low self esteem or is desperate. I think my sister said desperate. Um, and then a man who accepts, he's probably gay. So,
Did you say gay?
hmm
How dare you?
Hold on, what you say, girl? I missed it.
Yeah, a man who accepts the proposal of marriage from a
Oh
woman
my
is probably gay.
God. That's new.
She
Just
said
saying.
he's probably
Because
a
why you got her
homosexual.
down on her knees like that?
Oh wow.
Like what? No, we're not doing that. Get up.
So this is what I was saying. I was like, normally, if a man proposes to a woman, you only assume that that man is going to take you under his wing now, take care of you, provide for you, protect you, secure you, all those good things. So once the woman does that, is she saying, "Hey, baby, I want to protect you and love you, and provide for you now"? Because isn't that isn't that what the understanding is when you ask someone for marriage? Like,
Yeah, but I just don't think women should be asking men. Men
it's
are
crazy.
supposed to find a wife. You know what I
Right.
mean? Not the
Yeah.
other way around. I think men are supposed to find a wife. You know,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I just don't think it should be the woman asking a man like, "Hey, let's get married." Like, I mean, you can say that, but like actually proposing is kind of
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
taking
it's
it a
kind
bit too far. Having the
of.
conversation of marriage, yes, because of course you know when you're dating seriously, you're gonna have those conversations, and but actually getting on one knee and that's just she doing too
Blue
much
Jay
at that
says
point.
that it's emasculating.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
why I said gay.
And I think that women, I would hope that the woman would know this man well enough so she wouldn't necessarily find that to be emasculating, I guess. I don't necessarily know if it's a woman that's, I don't know if it's necessarily a woman that's desperate, but
Mm,
I would say that she is very masculine and very in control of that relationship. That is what I would
yeah,
like to, if that makes sense.
very much
Yeah.
so. Very much so. Yeah, I could
Spirit,
see
you
that
got
too.
stuff? Hold on, we got spirit here like twice. Tripping. Tripping. Okay. Yeah. Yo, I am like stressed out. Like not really stressed out, but the kids have been out of school here for like a week. And
Mm.
you know, the food is leaving, the snacks is going. They coming in the room every 5 minutes. Mama, what you doing? Mama, can I get? Mama, can I do? I'm like, you should just ask me. Like, what do you do? Like, what are you supposed to do with all that? Oh
What's a
my
lot
god!
going on? Yes.
You know what I
What's
will
going
say? I will say I thank God for my sister because my baby boy is with her eating up her food.
Yes, he is. He is.
And the opposite with his dad. So I'm chilling. And when I tell you Matt is in heaven, I talked to my mom today. She was like, "What Matt doing? Acting like he don't know nobody because because he with his auntie."
Period.
You already know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too
It's
funny.
fun over here. It's fun.
Girl,
That's
that's all he
awesome.
was saying.
We have fun. And I've been trying, like, I've really been showing out this week, trying new recipes. I be like, I bet
Oh
your mama don't
wow!
cook
Oh,
like this.
girl. He was like, Mama, you been eating so good. Auntie can straight up cook. I was like, I know. Girl, he having a blast over there.
Mhm.
That is
And I'm
hilarious.
enjoying saving a few coins. Thank you,
I
Jesus.
I know you are, yes, because baby, these
Yo,
kids,
I
they
just
be
bought some
eating, and it's our
groceries.
boys. Ooh,
Groceries
go ahead.
yesterday. I think half of the whole pantry gone now, and I just got a 9-year
Yeah.
old little girl, and it's just like, whoa,
Yeah.
like you know, it's when they see
Mhm.
it, they just keep on asking and keep on asking.
Yes.
Trying not to
I
get
think
upset.
it's the. I think I think they eat when they're bored or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
bored. I'm gonna go eat. Like,
Mm-hmm.
really? Go
Right.
outside. We
Or
used to be outside. Remember those when we were
Yes.
kids? We was
Go
outside
sweat.
we
literally
lived
all
out there.
day.
Yeah, go sweat or do
These,
something. Like,
yeah,
you
these
know.
kids don't want to go outside no more. I'm like,
Mm-mm. So I
Yeah.
mentioned the alternatives now where people don't necessarily get married, where they don't go to the courthouse anymore and get married. They have different types of unions, such as civil unions and cohabitation agreements, people living together so they outline what they're going to do in a relationship. If something happens or they break up, then they have to follow that agreement. You can get it notarized, stuff like common law marriages and things of that nature. So these people are normally in long-term relationships. Do you think that is settling? Because if it mimics a marriage, my question is, if it mimics a marriage, if you can get some benefits of the marriage, then why not get married?
mm,
Okay, can I answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why should getting married? I mean, you said why you get married, right? And the paperwork. You need if we get married, that means if I love you, I trust you, I know you're gonna do right. I'm gonna
I'm
leave
saying,
you with whatever I leave you with.
mm-hmm.
I'm
I'm saying
worthy of having. I mean,
a person who
okay, go
doesn't
ahead.
want to marry you, they don't want to necessarily marry you, but they'll say, "Oh, we can go get a domestic partnership on paper and recognize that, or we can go get the
Okay,
civil and recognize." Like, do you
okay.
think that is basically pacifying somebody or like second to the marriage?
No, well, I can say this. Me being from up north, I can say this. I know a lot of people that have never been married. It's been together 20, 30, 10 years, been together for years. Texas, you live with somebody for 6 months. Y'all common law married. Sorry. If y'all break up and y'all get into it, y'all going to go to court to split up stuff that you bought.
that's crazy too.
Right? You know what I'm saying? That's
Mhm.
common law in
So I don't
Texas.
play them kind of
You
games
live with
now.
somebody for 6 months. If somebody get mailed to your house, you can't put them out. They live there now, whether they on a lease or not. So
Mm.
I
That's
mean,
You
it's
don't think
kind
that?
of like
Go ahead.
making you stay together, and that's what we not doing. We not worth the fight. A lot of people don't want to grow up. A lot of people don't want to be responsible. But in the same sense, Texas, if you with somebody, you can't get them out that house until you go down to the courthouse and file an eviction on them, whether they're on a lease or not. If they can show a piece of mail saying they live there, the police gonna tell you if I come back, somebody going to jail.
See, that's the type of bullshit I'm talking about. why go through that? Why have somebody living in your house all that time to the point where you got to go to the courthouse and do all of that, and y'all ain't never been married? So, like, shouldn't there
Right.
be a standard or a requirement? Why am I with you for 5 and 6 years and I still got to go to the courthouse to do this and that? Like, I don't
Right.
think that makes any type of sense. And I think that when people are in relationships, there should be some, if you're going to be with somebody for a lifetime, in my opinion, and I understand people have spiritual marriages and all that type of stuff, but there's a lot of work that goes into a marriage. There's a lot of work that goes
It
into a
is
relationship,
true.
and
Woo.
and in my opinion, there has to be some ROI, regardless of what people want to say. There has to be some return on investment. Whether you having great times, whether you done bore some kids,
That's
whether you
right.
have a legacy, whether this person had died and worked all his life and now you're reaping the benefits of his lifestyle. There
Hmm.
has to be some ROI on that relationship,
Because
on that
what's love got to
marriage.
do with it?
Thank you.
That
It's
part,
more
that
than love.
part, that part, that
I
part,
I
that
say it
part.
all the
Because I'm
time.
telling you,
Come
Yeah,
if
on,
you
that's
Tina
with
more
Turner.
than
some, but
love.
that's what I'm saying. Because if you with somebody in Texas and they die and y'all been living together, 9 times out of 10 you can get everything.
It's
It's
risk.
common
It's
law marriage.
honestly, if and love, yes, love should be
Yeah, it
involved.
definitely matters.
But in however, when you become a couple, when you get married to somebody, you're trying to create a system. It's kind of like a business, right?
Hmm.
So you're trying to create a system or a business to where, especially if you have children, to leave something to them so they can continue on
Yeah,
with the business. If that, you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
so whatever you leave
Name all of
behind,
that.
yeah, whatever you leave behind, you're trying to leave something for your kids to keep it going. Like, okay, my parents did this, they have this, or they had it, and they left this to us. It's up to the kids to keep that legacy
I
going and
feel,
moving.
I
Right.
feel that a hundred
You get
percent.
what I'm
I feel that a
saying?
hundred
So
percent.
love
See,
is
I get
important.
what you're saying. Love is important, and
It
that man
is,
needs to be there to let them know. And like I said, I
but
plan on having a
duty
business soon,
duty
but
is
duty is
just as
everything.
important,
Yeah, duty
Yes,
if
is
not
it
if
goes
not
hand
more.
in hand with love though, because
Yeah.
real love will be duty.
Hmm.
Yes, it is definitely
Because
a
if you
job.
love somebody, you will do what it takes to make it work.
Yes, yes.
but
That
okay.
is,
Here's
thank you.
here's the thing. Here is the thing that's gonna break it. You love somebody. You put all into somebody. Like I'm gonna say, for instance, today, listen to this, lady. I heard this very not bizarre and not out the ordinary living in the times we live in. Y'all listen to this. Tell me what y'all think about this. So, a friend of mine called me today. A friend of hers is getting married next month. This friend of hers wishes her guy a happy Father's Day on Twitch. Is it? Is Twitch sound right?
Hmm.
So she sends him a happy Father's Day. A lady likes the happy Father's Day. She goes and look into the lady and see that her man works out of town. She drops him off at the airport to go to work. Every time he go to work, he's flying this other lady out to wherever he going to work. This lady is 6 months pregnant and y'all supposed to be getting married. So you confront the lady. You see that she's everywhere he goes. He be
Mm.
showing them in pictures and stuff, but it's just mighty odd. So you confront her. The lady tell you everything. What's going on from here A to Z. The lady gets so much in her feelings, she posts a video of yo man, you supposed to be marrying next month, giving her the business. Buck naked in the news.
Mm.
So he gets mad and decides he wants his family back. So this woman is 6 months pregnant. But this woman is not supposed to be 6 months pregnant by him. He goes to try to break things off with the woman. They are currently in New York. In the midst of things, him getting his stuff to go back to his family, trying to save his marriage next month. Him and the lady get in an altercation. He break her leg. I mean, break her arm. And now
Mm.
they sitting there. Now he's sitting in New York in jail. Thoughts, lady.
That's that's I don't even
That's
have
crazy.
words. I don't even know
Me
what
either.
to
Let me
say.
read some of these
Okay.
comments. Hold on. Let me go back up here. Someone says she keeps the camera on until she talks. I guess I don't know who they're talking about. But nobody else does. That's obvious too kind. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what they talking about. I think they're talking about something
Go
else.
back, go back, go back.
But
Oh yeah,
nobody
he on
else
time.
does. They obviously are too kind to call you on your 1972 takes on manhood. Urban Podcast says by the ladies' excitement, this is why many modern men say that it's no value in marriage for them, and this is the issue. He references modern men. I'm not interested in a modern man.
Thank you.
Um,
Mm-mm.
that sounds like a bad idea. Chitlin Soup, standing across there is no time period on manhood unless you are confused about yours. Wow. What
They're
is
going
going
in the chat.
You know,
Stanley and
I'm saying,
Chitlin. Stanley versus Chitlin, honey.
well, nobody
outside
wins against nobody wins against Stanley. What they thought?
Period. I don't know what
out,
they thought. Good luck.
outside outside babies are a deal breaker. Blue in general, women and kids get the most in return in value, not men. Somebody says, "Wow, what a fool!" I already know what Blue Jay is referring to. Urban, they don't care. You know how Lionel gonna go, y'all. And then we got Blue Jay. Urban, I disagree. Married men are healthier and make more money. And then we have Stanley saying, by the way, look up sociology and you might understand how manhood relates to relationships. I actually have my bachelor's in sociology. I love
Oh,
sociology. But
period.
anyways, um back to this ROI and return on investment. I understand what you're saying, Spirit Oliver, and I think that that's very unfortunate. But this is what I'm talking about in relationships when we're talking about marriages and what Kay Michelle is talking about. I don't think necessarily just so in black relationships, but I only can reference black because I only date black men and I am black, or I've only have dated black men. But I don't think that people are feeling that they're worthy of anything, so they take anything.
Mm-hmm.
Being having this baby with this situation, and this man is able to run back to his wife. This is what I'm talking about. Spending your time with these men and not requiring them to do anything. You
Ooh,
don't have
this is
time.
my take.
You don't have time. Women don't have time to spend with men, and men are not investing in them on their lifetime. It is
I
not
agree.
okay for a man to say, "Oh, I got 5 years with you and I don't want to be with you anymore," and you get nothing from that, and then you walk away with tears. You know, like that is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. You spent your whole time trying to get
especially
married.
if you want a family.
Yeah, spent your whole time trying to get married, spent your whole time trying to have kids, spent your whole time trying to get some domestic partnership, spent your whole time being called a partner. Like there are some standards now that women need to have. There are some standards that
Mm-hmm.
men need to have. You cannot let men fuck on you, give you $20 every now and then say, oh,
Oh,
it's a good deal. Like
Clock
that
it.
is,
Clock
and I'm not talking to you, I'm saying in general. And that's what women are
yeah.
doing. These dudes don't want to get married, so it's okay to be a partner. Lionel said last 3 or 4 shows ago, how am I going to be your partner if I'm supposed to lead you? That really hit me differently because
That's
like it
real.
comes to a situation where you get caught up in settling in that position, settling in that term because it feels good. I can't be his wife, but a partner is what he wants, so I'm going to be that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a lifetime. That's not a relationship. That's not a I gotta provide for you when you don't have money. That's a I can decide to provide for you because I am not entitled to. Your husband covers you. Your husband is there and
Yes.
responsible for you. No
Mm-hmm.
man that's been in a relationship for 3, 4, 5 years has to do any of that. And I just feel that women should make men and have a requirement and a standard that men have to do that. I don't got time to be spending with you. My eggs is growing, my years is coming along, like my
Mm-hmm.
wrinkles are starting to set in at any time. Like just as much as you can re-up and rebound and what is it, replace, as Beyonce says, women have to
Mm-hmm.
feel that too. But they're it's this word now that you're old, you're used up, you're this and that. But why are you sitting there letting somebody use you up? In my
Ooh,
opinion.
I agree.
that's a
Yeah.
word.
I agree with you
Women have to
100%.
stop. Yeah.
Yeah,
Women
any
have to
thoughts,
stop letting
guys?
men do that too. Like,
They
so
do. And stop trying to
women,
save them too.
yeah,
Yeah,
So
that's
when
why. And if they don't want to act right, you get somewhere and you sit down.
get them up out
You
of there.
don't
yeah,
settle.
Yeah,
so
but you know what, sis, too? I say this. Some of us been sitting on the shelf so long. When we do get the good one, it's so much run through our mind of what if.
Yeah, I guess if you sitting on the shelf with purpose, that makes a difference.
Yeah,
but
even with the
when
purpose.
K, but when K Michelle says men don't offer any structure, don't have any structure, they don't have to anymore because you got
Yeah,
females out here okay having babies so they can get an NBA basketball check. You got females out here okay having babies so they can get their rent paid. You got he doesn't you don't require him to have any structure anymore. You're selling it all on
exactly.
Instagram, all on Facebook, even old
This
bitches.
is,
Bitches that's
yeah,
40 years old seeing they high school men see these dudes on Facebook and stuff, and now they twerking. Like you have no requirements anymore. So how can you request a man to provide structure for you when you don't know what structure is? You want to be out in the streets, you want to be wayward, you
Mhm.
don't want to you don't want to compromise, but you say you supposed to be married. You supposed what does marriage
Right.
look like for you? What are we supposed to be presenting to this man, and what are they supposed to choose from? Because we all looking the same across the board. I mean, I'm pulling
That's
myself
why.
out of it, but you know.
But overall, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
That's why I say that there was so much hypocrisy in what she said because they can't play the game alone. The women also have to involve themselves. So, at what point do you also take accountability for saying, "I fell for this dude. I said okay to whatever type of vibe he was on. You knew he wasn't serious. We also have a choice. We have to say, okay, I chose to lay down with this guy, and this is what comes with it. I didn't require him to marry me before I opened my legs to him. It may be a hard pill to swallow. So again, that's why I said people may have been more receptive to what K. Michelle was saying had she humbled herself. Okay, I too have made the mistake. I wasn't married when I had my child, but now that I have grown, and then you start with whatever rhetoric you had. There was no humility, K. Michelle, in what you said. So when you humble yourself, sometimes people can become more receptive to the things that you are saying. But you came off as if you have yourself together, sitting there with your nipples out again, trying to distract Cam
Not
Newton.
the titties.
Yeah, so it was weird, and all of a sudden you want to jump on
The
the country
titties.
music train. Oh, country singers, they exemplify what real family looks like. They go home to their families. We have
I
the
seen that.
whole time you got a song saying you F them all. Make it make sense, sis. So you're
I
trying to
remember
win
that song.
favor. Yeah, you trying to win favor over here because you on the country train now. But just a few years ago, you were into the ratchet promoting being a whore type of lifestyle. So please humble yourself first before you come across as if that's why I can't take you serious. And the tears, oh my
I think.
gosh. I could have
Yeah,
cried.
Jesus.
yeah,
Jesus. Yeah, I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Jesus.
Chitlin Soup says Stanley Cross, no disrespect to Ross, but I was speaking on sociology degrees, whether it was you or hers. I don't feel disrespected at all, Chitlin Soup. I just was enamored that we were speaking of sociology. Lionel, because most married men I know are happy. Do you guys think that married men are happy? Are you guys making the men in your life happy? Mine would definitely say I'm stressing him out. Roz has a successful career. Maybe you're misinformed. I missed the video. Yeah, it was at the beginning, Blue Jay. It was a video. What's her name? K Michelle. You probably can see it all on what's that? Instagram. Yeah. But I think K Michelle is they always come back home. And I think
Mhm.
that K Michelle is gonna be sent back home, but no one is going to want to recycle her because of now the comments that she's made.
Mhm.
I found
Somebody
it.
will. Somebody will.
Barbie
Did
Somebody
doll.
y'all
will.
see her? Did y'all see her interview like a week ago? She was on some country station. When I tell you they
Mhm.
shaded her as much as
Yeah,
shade
I
that
saw
she,
that.
I saw
When
that.
she,
like,
when
girl,
she
who
said,
are
"I'm
you?
from
You don't
She
know.
Mississippi."
got her what you call it, her wake what you call it, the black wake up, the white, what you call it, some kind of wake up call when
Nigger,
you
wake up call.
the
White
black
girl, wake
wake,
up call.
yeah, where they be like, girl, yeah, you over here, but it won't rock
You
with you like
still
that, like you
blind.
think.
You still blind.
Won't rock with you like you think, honey. Okay. But I
Exactly.
Mhm.
do like how she checked in though, like
I
black
like
people
it
was doing
too.
country before y'all was doing country.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
get
true.
it. Stop playing with us,
I
okay?
was
Go
glad
ahead.
she
Mhm.
checked her. That lady was out of order.
Yeah. Now I
Yeah.
rock with her on that.
I
But
did
to say
too.
this about black men,
But
girl, go
but I said that just to say, like, you can big up them all you want. They still gonna put you in your place at the end of the day and let you
Mhm.
know we only rock with you to a certain extent. I mean, that's just the truth.
Here's what it is.
Good night, Spirit.
Good
Bob
night,
says,
spirit.
Good night.
ladies, men will never tell you how they really feel, and they do so to protect you.
I believe that some partially. I think that can sometimes be true.
My comment was referring to your
Maybe.
scuff
Yeah.
words towards sociology degrees, which wires has low. They going off in the comments, you guys. So,
Yes, Blue Jay. Like, look it up. It's the truth. Don't start, Blue Jay. Go ahead.
so in regards, we did speak on black people. Now, when we look at Caucasian people, I don't know if you guys know any Caucasian folks in your life. What do you think about the how the institution of marriage looks for them? Do you think that we as black people are telling our daughters the same things that the white person is telling their daughters during those marriageable years, the 20s and up?
Hmm. That's a good question. I'm not really sure. I don't know if I can answer that. I had one white homegirl and then she turned against me. Um, and we was really close. Remember sis Jessica? That was
Hmm.
my girl. But yeah, and she like black men, but she racist a little piece. She a little piece of
I
racist.
I asked that question because in the beginning I gave the statistics about Caucasian marriages, and it said that 41% of American homes were married households. 60%, 61% of those were like Caucasian homes or whatnot. So I wanted to know what was the difference from white America and Black America when that subject of marriage comes up. If you
It's
would like,
more,
go ahead.
but it's more of them too. So of course the number will be higher.
Mhm.
A lot
Mhm.
of them divorce too, though. When you think
Yeah.
about a lot of their marriages end in divorce, but again, they are the majority. So
Mm.
And I never like to compare the and y'all know I gotta recovering, so I gotta put my leg up. Forgive me. Y'all know I never like to compare the two races or men, but K Michelle reference white men are marrying their women. White men are not out here causing baby mamas. White men are having structure in their homes. Do you guys see that in white men more than you see that in the black man?
I think that I don't know. I feel like most of the bad things are being highlighted when it comes to our men, because there are stand up men who believe in family and structure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say that the black man is just all out sorry and dysfunctional and out of order. I don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
it's by design to make the black man look terrible. I mean, look at
Hmm.
who owns the media, but that's another conversation.
Yeah, I totally agree. I definitely think that the numbers are higher for the Caucasian race, just in regards of financial stability and economic stability when it comes to the white man. Um, I think that socially it's more accepted in their culture or in their white American culture. Like they're not creating families of I'm sure they have white baby mamas, but they have women who have babies out of wedlock, where we have baby mom,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote.
What
But
do you mean?
I
They
think
word
that
it differently when it's a
What's the
white person.
difference? Oh, I
And
get what
there's
you're
no
saying.
different. But
Okay.
because it's a
exactly.
white situation, they say, "Oh, well, she got married. I mean, well, she had a kid out of wedlock." But
hmm
with a black woman, oh, that's just a baby mama. Like you
hmm
know how it is.
Because Cam referenced his baby mama. He said, I love my first baby mama. That's my
Yeah,
his. That's my
yeah.
his.
Yeah, he did say that. And I think that's the
Yeah.
problem right there. The minimization
Mhm.
of how you're going to have this woman in your life. And when I think of that question that I just asked y'all, Cam, once again, is a great example of that. When he was on that show prior to K. Michelle talking, Cam, like I said, has about 9 babies with
I
eight or
thought it
nine,
was 12.
12
No,
babies with about.
that's Nick Cannon.
Okay.
Okay, so Cam has about 8 or 9 babies. I'll find out for sure with about 8 or 9 different baby mothers, and he says that he will forever be trying to right his wrongs and trying to make things right for creating broken homes. So I listened to him say he loves his baby mom. I want to know, what did he say to the seventh baby mother that made her decide to have a child with him? And in my opinion, once again, it goes back to the white man having the structure and the black man not being required to have that type of structure or provide that type of structure, because
Mhm.
it's more okay and more acceptable to be a baby mom. Like the crown on your head to be a baby mom sometimes in the community
Mhm.
than it is to just be a wife. That's what I'm
I
getting
think
from that.
I think it's just a
Um,
matter of. Oh, go ahead,
Go
sis.
ahead, T.
I was just gonna say, like, for the seven baby mama. I mean, for any of them, you probably didn't have to say much. He's Cam Newton, right? So,
Yeah.
um, a lot of times, a lot of these girls out here that's searching for the money, the bag, the lifestyle. You don't have to require, like, they don't require much from these men. A lot of
So
times, all they
yeah,
want is the baby for
yeah.
the money. So
Mm-hmm.
It's
it's
true.
not a lot that they require. So I mean, but Cam, I mean,
Yeah.
he knew what he was doing too. So I hold him accountable just like those women. Um, he's
The
wrong for
children suffer.
creating all these broken families. He's wrong too.
Yeah, the
And
children suffer. Nick Cannon
yeah,
children
They
suffer.
do.
They feel because they have money, they're okay. They can take care of these kids.
right.
But it's one thing to financially take care of a kid, and another thing to completely invest and live with that child every single day to raise a child.
Yes.
Like that is completely two different things.
And it's so important. It really is.
Presence is irreplaceable. And I
Yes,
Yeah.
think that's the part that they miss. Like
it's
there's
more
more
than money.
Mm-hmm.
being a provider than just your finances. You miss out on so much, and not just the presence part. You have so many children in different homes, and that's a whole new level of dysfunction. They don't even develop a decent relationship or bond, because they all over the country. It's like it's just a lot. And then I don't know if I take Cam serious, he'll forever be trying to right his wrongs. Because just a few months ago, he was bragging about all the baby mamas he had
Well,
with
he got a woman pregnant now. She about to pop.
Dr.
Yeah.
Brian or whoever. Like he was like, oh well, they well taken care of. It is what it is. So I don't know if he just gave that little speech because he was in front of K Michelle, but
That's how he really feel though. He really
Yeah,
feel
Dr.
like I
Bryant.
got money.
that's what I'm
So
Yeah.
saying. So when he said that he'll forever right his wrongs, like he felt bad, child.
I
I don't
think
know.
he has really been he has really taken some heed to what Dr. Bryant told him, and he keeps on referencing that. And
Okay.
in my opinion, I think that he's real sincere about it. But he got this woman pregnant again, who he just had his last child with.
Mhm.
And he openly said on the panel on his podcast that he cheats on her. So once again, it's
Wow.
us. It's always us. Like, and
Mhm.
other women were upset because she allows him to cheat on her, allows him to create a baby in her,
So
and disrespect her publicly. How can we expect men to provide structure? How can we expect men to do all these things if we continuously take that type of disrespect? That is
so
crazy.
my next question would be, did the lady come into agreement with this? Because if she's okay with it,
Hmm.
that speaks to a whole new level of, in my opinion, dysfunction. I don't understand it. But
Hmm.
did she come into agreement with this for him to be able to openly express that on a podcast?
So she did not come into agreement with it that night of the podcast. After the podcast, she made concessions and said certain things as if she knew about it and if she was okay with it. She's a comedian, so she said things of, we know how Cam
Oh
is, and she
wow.
made jokes to it. I'm gonna find her name for you. But yeah, a lot of people were speaking on that. A lot of women were disappointed in her, and that's what K Michelle was talking about. That woman loves you, but you still chose to disrespect her like that. And
Hmm.
the lady told people to stay out her business and stuff. But even and still, now she's having another child with him. Yeah,
Right.
it's crazy. It's
It
crazy.
is.
It's really crazy. So I mean, like it, like you say, it's just I believe some here for the T said that it takes two, and we really need to open our we need to change our outlook on relationships.
Hmm.
The STDs and STI rates are definitely going up higher in certain cities, urban cities, and I'm not representing just black people, but I'm just saying it's definitely going up. But that shows, like, promiscuity. That shows risky behavior. That shows that people are just, dating and having a good time because
Yeah.
there no longer is no end game. Like, how do you keep on
Hmm.
dating with no end game?
Right. I agree.
Yeah, marriage and more, marriage and blended relationships and new alternative relationships. Like, it's crazy. You got the polygamous relationships, the polyamorous relationships. You have so many people with so many excuses to have numerous of partners. Like, I just don't understand how if the majority of America values the institution of a marriage anymore.
Yeah.
It's
That's
definitely
funny.
terrible. It looks like we have Mela in the chat here, I believe. Welcome, Mela. Thank you for joining. It says, come on. You see, it looks like my shit is slow. May I join the conversation about marriage because the topic of falling for criminal-minded guys are rarely discussed. Mela, you definitely can come up here and definitely give your input. We would love to have you up here. Um, that's interesting. So I believe,
That's true too, though.
yeah, yeah. A lot of women are dating. Well, I don't want to attribute that to her, but they have so many shows now with these women dating these men in jail. I find it to be the most entertaining shows ever. Like, I just love it. I
And
really love
then
it.
I think it's one thing to be with somebody like before they get locked up and then something happens, but it's another thing for you to just, I don't know, not really know a person that good, and then you really like stick by them when they locked up like that.
Yeah,
They'll see anything when they lonely and locked up. Really?
exactly. On a pen pal relationship type thing. One second,
Yeah.
let me let Mel up. Hi, Mela. Thank you for joining the panel. Happy Saturday to you.
Likewise, and thank you so much
No
for
problem.
allowing me to discuss not only the topic at hand, but and this obsession, this track record of sisters getting with criminal minds. It's like when you grow out of it, this fascination of oh my God, if he's devoted, that strong, just imagine what he would do for me, or whatever the hell fantasies these people are thinking. Because the
Yeah.
writing on the wall is criminal. Okay, that's the writing on the wall. It's like, what doesn't a person understand about that? It's very heartbreaking when a mother or a father discovers that their child is in love with a criminal. It's heartbreaking. It's like,
Mm.
why don't you understand that that's not going to lead, the propensity
And
of,
Mela, when you say criminal, you mean a person who has been arrested and convicted?
yes,
Okay, go ahead.
a felon. Like
Okay.
literally, they walk up to you like, "How you doing? I think you sexy. I'm a felon. Can we get together?"
That's crazy work. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's something different. Go ahead.
They get swept off their feet in a major way, and I don't understand it. I do not. We're talking about women who are on the fast track of being highly educated, uh, uh, substantially promoted in their endeavors of income generation. Just got a lot going for themselves.
I have
You
seen
know,
that. I have seen
But
women.
is that
that
really
is,
that common
we're
though?
talking about
Oh,
aldermen. Aldermen.
yes, I've seen women be
What the hell
judges,
is an alderman
probation
doing with a
officers,
jailbird
and
boyfriend?
felonies. Yep, in jail.
That is
Yes.
crazy.
Super
Mhm.
crazy.
Mhm. But does it speak to a mentality or
Is it desperation, or I think it also speaks to how their definition of what strength and uh um masculinity looks like.
I
It's
I I, I would
it's
like.
weird. Like you don't understand what it really looks like because people view that as, oh, he's strong, he tough. No,
mm,
that's not what it is. Like you are
I've been
setting
trying
yourself
to
up
figure this
for
out.
a complete disaster. You know.
I've been, juggling the possibilities. The only thing I can come up with is because I even came up with something as corny as Caucasian folk psychology with, oh, they have some unmet issues and all this other kind. It's like, no, 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 no. Somebody that's an alderman, that goes through the rigmarole of what it takes to be an alderman,
Mm-hmm.
in a major metropolitan city, ought to know better. So I'm
yeah.
trying to figure out how this, like what is the so I thought I went cardinal. I was like, maybe he delivering it in the bed. I was like, no, 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 because you can get good sex from just about any agreement that you solidify. I'm not trying to be crass, so I'm keeping it PG-13. So, there's a such thing as um you ain't the only one in the box, you know, type of thing, right? So it's not like, good sex is exclusive to incarcerated men. So that's not it. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just like, I'm wondering what makes you throw away the whole look of being successful by attaching yourself with this felon. What is this about? What did he tell
Right.
you?
Well, love can be a very intoxicating
Can it
feeling,
though? Can it though?
and
Really?
when you're under that influence, you can make irrational decisions such as dating people in categories and levels that you shouldn't be in, subjecting yourself to particular abuse that you shouldn't deal with. Do you think that that could be a possibility, that the
I would
intoxication
I
of
would
love?
I would say that is a possibility, and I place a hard no on it on my end, only because I've developed my own philosophy about love. Because a
Uh-huh.
lot of people get trapped into misinterpreting what an obligation is versus what a feeling is. They're two different things. When like for instance, a woman can give birth to a child, develop an obligation, right? Otherwise transfer, otherwise known as love. Like I love my child, but that's actually the development of obligation that you have. Like you're not gonna leave that child, you know, ass out nowhere, like for no reason. You have an obligation, otherwise known as love. Now then you take this whole, okay, this guy done boned me down, you know, turn me all the way around. He make me every time I see him, I smile and all this other kind of, stuff you know, that produces emotions. That's also known as love, right? And so when it comes to that romantic love, because I'm not educated in that manner to talk about eros and this, those, and that, all the Greek meanings and stuff. What I can say is that to break it down to a fraction, I have created for myself, I agree with you, at the same time, I have developed a hedge of protection in the form of an acronym, otherwise known as lots of various emotions, LOVE. And that just keeps it simple and plain. It's like, okay, I'm turned on by this guy. He's telling me everything I want to hear.
Oh,
And you know you
wow.
like
That's
that.
good, Mella.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like he's making me feel emotions. Shout out to Mariah Carey. He's making me feel emotions. And that's all it is. It ain't got nothing to do with obligation. I do not have to obligate myself to this feeling that I'm having. I can dip my toe in it and step back, dip my toe in it and step back, but jumping in, fully obligated as if it's my child, hell no. Hell no. And this is why I don't understand why people, get caught up in their feelings to the point where they are putting their livelihoods on the table. Like, do you know what it takes to entertain a criminal?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think I just had this topic
Come
a
on, man.
couple weeks
You done
ago.
worked all your life to be
There's
I
successful.
no
You
way.
remember.
entertaining a
I
criminal?
remember.
Come on, man.
No way. No way.
That's
Like
just what
I
that's
just
what it
don't.
is.
I guess I don't get it. Like of all the people in the world,
So
why
are
would
we
you
saying
choose
that
her?
everyone does not deserve love? Does
No.
not deserve
That's
the
what
opportunity
counseling
of
is for.
marriage?
That's what counseling is for.
Mm.
Right. I think
That person
everyone.
who's made mistakes to the point where they have a felony, they need counseling before they can readjust their lives and demonstrate to prove that they're no longer suspect to recidivism, because that's the problem. Recidivism, meaning going back and forth into their criminal behavior. You know,
Yeah.
once they have a record of them, like for instance, they become a business owner because they can't get a job. Okay, they're a felon, so they become a business owner, a successful business owner for at least a decade. Then it's like, okay, more than likely he's not gonna go back to his old ways. You can put your trust in that. But a
So what
lot
do
of
you guys
women,
think of this?
they just see his potential and they dive in head first and deep, and that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I agree.
But I think that women do that more so with men, period, and he don't even have to be a criminal or a felony.
Mhm.
Will
Mhm.
take care of them. They will foster in their dreams. The man could be 45, still chasing his dreams, and they still behind them, pushing them on. They have basically fell a couple of notches in their life from the things that they were doing because they're dating this new man with this new love, or they become stagnant in the relationship. Like it's just this desperation that I see a lot of women have, like I
Right.
said, once again, to end up with nothing, to not require this man to give them nothing at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
It's
point.
weird.
That's
I
true.
know for myself, um, being fed the message, not just through Walt Disney, but just observation, it would appear that something's wrong with you if you don't have a man. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're pretty. And it's
Oh,
like,
that's the
what?
thing.
Yeah, it's like what's something wrong if you don't have a child by this age? Something wrong if
Hmm.
you're not married by that age. Though all those insinuations, it does something to you, right? And then you get disappointed by two marriages, and you're like, what the hell am I really thinking? And I can say for myself, what I have discovered is how important it was to re-raise myself. And I'm saying this for the entire audience now in the room.
Man,
It's important to re-raise yourself because
me
you
and my
wasn't.
sister talk about it all the time.
Hmm.
Yeah, I look at the talent, skills, and abilities that I had innately as a child, and I'm good with my hands, right? I'm good at re um altering what I'm looking at and use my hands to refurbish it, refashion it, whatever
Mhm.
the task calls for. I'm good at, fixing stuff and or just apply my hands to design stuff. And it could be very pretty things or it could be very
Hmm.
practical things. And so what I had realized is that I never really engaged in a hobby.
Mhm.
I never actually engaged in a hobby. I was taught that my hobby was to focus on procuring a marriage. That
Mm.
was supposed
Oh.
to be my hobby. And when after two marriages that I found myself disappointed about for various reasons, I was just like, you know, especially when the empty nester age came through. It's like, okay, so it would appear that my entire life was dedicated to service as opposed
Mm.
to actually feeling rewarded for accomplishing what my true talent is for that day. Like if my true talent is to turn is to teach a t-shirt a new trick, like altering a t-shirt and making it look pretty and attractive where it's a conversation starter, or hell, turn a old fur coat into some damn fur boots, some bullshit like that. Turn a
Mhm.
paint over a chair and make a whole new patio set look refurbished. All those types of things where I just look at it and be like, yeah, I did that. I did that. I
So
did that.
So can I?
are you saying you were not while you were married, you were not allowed to create or be creative, only to just I guess service your family or your husband? You were not allowed to be creative. Is that what you're saying?
The time was not allotted.
Okay.
It was like if say for instance my first husband, if he went out of town and he came back and he found out evidence that I spent my time creating something, he was pleased. But if we're together, he's not going to appreciate that I didn't make breakfast because I'm, creating something.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
that's the difference. It's like to tell him like for these 2 hours, don't talk to me. I'm in my workroom. I'm in the sewing
Mhm.
room.
Mhm.
I'm in the sewing room doing my thing. Don't talk to me for 2 hours. He wasn't happy. Period.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's
It's
I
like,
don't
well, what
think that
you
that's
what
okay.
you make the sewing room for if you don't want me to use the sewing room?
Right. Right. Right.
So
It was
I
it
hear you,
sounds like a control thing, but go ahead.
Yeah. I hear you, Melissa, that you spent your time preparing the marriage. So are you saying that there was no investment from your ex-husbands into you? It was all you having to service them and take care of
They
them.
bought me things and took me places. You know, they pacified me with superficiality, but it didn't cultivate my creativity. And that's what was missing from my life. You know, actually witnessing my artistry producing something. And you need time to yourself for those ideas to, you know, plant little seeds and grow. Like you need to not be bothered. You need like some time to yourself, knowing that nobody's gonna be pressuring you about anything, and ideas come to you. And if you always in a position where at some point he's gonna want something, he's gonna want to ask you something that he needs to solve for himself. He's gonna want to have sex. He's gonna want to ask you, should we go here for a vacation, or baby, look what I got for you as a gift. Um, what do you think about visiting cousin such and such who's having strife and conflict and trying to work it out with them? You know, there's always something from him. You know, it's like
Yeah, he didn't
it's
support
none of
you.
that. It's none of what never happened in either of my
Mm,
marriages was, did you think of something new to create today? Never,
yeah,
never.
that's not good.
There's
That's not
never.
good.
But they liked it. Like whenever they said, it's like, wow, you have a unique way of seeing things and improving them. And I like your creativity. I love your creativity. But not once did any of them ask. So, are you thinking about
Yeah,
creating something new today?
you just wanted
Not once.
it. You wanted to feel supported.
Right.
That's what it sounds
I
like.
supported. It was just superficially.
No, no, you wanted to be supported through with your creativity, and they didn't provide that support for you
They
because that was something you was passionate about, and they didn't.
men
You know what I
men.
mean?
Yeah, I do, because men think it's a novelty. They don't think it's a necessity, and that's the difference.
That's
Um,
exactly what they think.
yeah,
But
they
thankfully, my
think it's a
husband is totally
novelty
different.
as
He done
opposed to
let
a
me,
necessity.
child. My husband done let me start all kind of businesses, be
Oh,
all kinds of creative. Since and
Um, Mela, so
so
my
it's
question
a
to you,
lot.
are you currently married now?
Mm.
Oh, we're separated. I wouldn't
Okay.
be online in the middle of the night if I was married. No. I mean, I'm
Okay.
married. I'm
I'm
legally
married.
married, but I'm separated. Yeah.
Okay. And
It's like that song, "You do you, I'll do me. I
is
wish you
this
well."
is the separation in part to you not being able to have your creative niche in the relationship?
I just don't believe, because he's the father of my child, it's not fair for me to take my frustrations out on him. That's not fair. When you find that you're actually not getting along, um, when you can't stand him, like on some real stuff, like you just literally cannot stand him, I'm gonna go for a veteran. I know a thing or two about um, being mean, and he doesn't deserve my meanness.
me
Mm.
too.
You know, he's never abused me, so he doesn't deserve for me to be mean to him. And it's best that we separate. It's just
I
best.
I think that's very introspective of you, Mela. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you making that admission about yourself. I can relate in ways of like dating men or being in serious relationships with men who've had issues with anger or who've been veterans and things of that nature. So I won't say just issues with anger, who possibly had issues, who've been veterans have had other issues to deal with, but don't necessarily come to terms with dealing with them themselves, so they lash out or expect their partners or others to deal with it. So I think
Yeah,
that that's
I've
very
taken my
introspective of
frustrations
you.
out in a ferocious way to the point where now I have respect for the power of a man. Trust and believe that. So there will come a time when uh my ass can't cash a check that my mouth wrote. And I'm just gonna have to just
Me too.
understand it. It's like we're not getting along, and it's in the best interest of a healthy presence for our child that we don't live together. You do you, I'll do me, and we'll keep
Mhm.
in touch. You know, I ain't forgot about all our sexy ways. I ain't forgot about none of that. I'm not asking you to how can I put this? But I think it explains itself. You do you, and I do me.
Can
If
I
I, you know, that's it.
can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you said your second husband, right? So you've been divorced twice, and this is not me judging because I'm also divorced. So do you think that at some point we may have to say like, okay, where what do I need to fix, or where did I go wrong? Because I know for me, I had to look within and like start to settle my imperfections outside of a relationship.
I've
Like
been
after I guess.
submissive. I've been submissive and accommodating to men, or rather, a man other than my husband. It,
Mhm.
it just depends on. It just depends on that. But see, we didn't live together. That's the difference. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
okay.
Um,
Mhm.
when you know, when you marry somebody, commonly you live with them, and but when you're having a tryst, right? And
Mhm.
they, you're just fascinated with getting together with them, and you're just like a puppy in their hands, and they treat you well, and you treat them well, and it's all good. But you
Right.
I'm
know
so
that you're not
sorry.
going to.
I'm
Oh,
so sorry. I hate to interrupt you. I'm just a little lost. I don't know what a tryst is.
when they're your lover, like that Prince song, "I want to be your lover." I want to be the
I
only
didn't know
one
either,
that makes you
Rise.
come,
I ain't know either. I was just
that type of shit.
Are
Like
you
when
saying
you,
your husband or outside of your husband? I'm for clarity.
in my, what I'm saying is, it's not a foreign concept for people who separate in marriage to have a lover, and I was absolutely submissive to that lover, and that lover was absolutely submissive towards me.
Mhm.
I couldn't take it anymore because he wanted me to divorce. It was like, what are we doing? Why are we just, being lovers when we could be married? And I have this thing about not wanting to be married a third time. It's kind of a psychological fucked up thing about me. It's like three strikes you out. It's just something about me that just doesn't want to be married a third time.
I
I
get
just don't.
it.
Yeah.
so what I
He's
have
still
an
around,
what
but I'm not. But if he keeps, pressuring me to marry him, is a turn off. You know, it's a turn off. It's like I told you that we good, and you're making it seem like it's not good, and it's turning me off. So that's my position. So
So if he walked away from you because he wanted marriage and you didn't, would you be okay and understanding of that decision?
absolutely, because of my philosophy that love stands for lots of various emotions.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm just experiencing emotions with him, not not an obligation. I'm not experiencing an obligation with him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm experiencing emotions with him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Thank you for that, Mela. A lot of people, I mean, thank you for your transparency.
Yes, that was
Uh,
so good.
yeah, some people said, what was the
I had to
creativity
look it
in
up.
money maker, or was it a I love Lucy type? Someone says, "Isn't your child grown?" Someone references Tris, that's Stanley Cross. He also says, "Wasn't one of your husband's military?" It says she had a side piece. Respectfully, it's not me. That's what they said in the
Oh,
comment.
I love the military. I love the military. Both my
Third
husbands
turns
were
the charm.
military.
I do too. And love times tree. And then we have she's keeping it a stack. Yes, she is. We have Black Moses on the panel. Thank you, Black Moses, for joining tonight, and happy Saturday to you. We are talking about the institution of marriage and your thoughts on it in today's culture.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you? Great to finally catch up with the Rise girl and
Oh, that's
all you
Moses.
good folks in here.
I was wondering who that
Hey
was.
Ivan,
Okay.
I am streaming from my one of the bedrooms because I had an accident on my foot, so I had surgery. So I'm just sitting here streaming from the bed. But thank you for joining. I'm not sure if you've seen all the stuff with K Michelle, but she talked about marriages and how being a country artist now, she sees white men having marriages and families and developing structure in their lives, and she does not see black men doing that. She was crying, and she said that she wanted black men to start loving black women and to start creating homes with black women and marry them. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, personally, I think K. Michelle is a trash bag, and she's been filled to the rim so much to where she should be put in a dumpster. So now, after all the fellas, Idris Elba, Memphis, all them guys that ran through her, and she's put their business in the streets. Now she wants to go to the white guys, and hopefully, I don't know if one has accepted her or has taken her, but she's not virtuous enough. She showed her ass in the past, so she's not virtuous enough.
Exactly.
She's not wife material at this point. And here's the thing: every woman that reaches that wall is not marriage material. A lot of you women hit the wall and then you think you marriage material, but no, you were marriage material 25, 30 years before you hit the wall. So why all of a sudden a nigga got to take care of you after you hit the wall? Nah, gone on with that shit. And I don't care if you're she's a
Mm.
country singer. Now she's a country singer, which is also just a double slap in the face. R&B really ain't trying to hear it no more. So yeah, she's a trash bag. So that's what I think. And Cam Newton, I think he's biased. Well, he don't say it, but I think he goes both ways. So he was sitting there with his
I
leg, he was
wonder,
with his legs crossed with Palmer's baby all on his leg. So that nigga might go both ways. Yeah, that's what I think.
Thank you for
Mm.
that, Mr. Moses. So you said she isn't a virtuous woman. So outside of K Michelle, prior to the show, prior to you getting on the show, I read the statistics about marriage in regards to white marriages, 61%, black marriages somewhere between 41%, things of that nature. I was saying when she says that black men don't have structure anymore, I thought that the black woman doesn't require the man to have structure anymore. What is your thoughts about the relations that the black woman and man share in regards to dating and marriages?
What do you mean by structure? See, this is the thing, man. We've been brought up in this construct of what marriage is in this Western world, but that doesn't fit everybody. And that's the thing. Y'all all go through this program and it's passed down generation to generation. Hey, you go to school, get a good job, get married, have kids, and have a family. It don't always work like that, but we're trying to live under this construct. What happens is a lot of time, most of the time, most of these marriages are people forcing themselves on each other because they think that's what they're supposed to do. Somebody gets pregnant, especially when you go to church, you're hearing it all the time. You're supposed to get married, you're supposed to have a husband, you both have kids, and that's probably what you didn't want to do. Your sight might have been, hey, I want to be an artist, I want to travel the world, I want to go to the military, I want to do this. But before you know it, you're married and you're in a marriage you didn't want to be in. So 10, 15, 20 years later, all of a sudden you want divorce. It's a very sad cycle, and it really affects black people. That's why you see black women getting divorcing their husbands like 90 going because they're not happy. And most men aren't equipped, especially black men aren't equipped to have a wife and create a family. They're not ready. They're not there yet. I remember when I was young, man, and me and my partner was hanging out. We was over at his family. He was having like a little family reunion or whatnot, and all his old uncles was out there. And these men were married men. They had families. The grandkid was running all over the place. And these men themselves said, "Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all something, youngsters. I'll tell you, y'all shouldn't be getting married until you're 35." That's what they told us. And we was young cats. And these are old experienced men. You could hear the
Did they
not the
explain why?
frustration, huh?
Did they explain why that?
Did they what?
Did they say why that you youngsters shouldn't get married? Did they say
Yeah,
why specifically?
because the thing was is that it's like do your plan, whatever you're trying to do that. Do it. If you fail it, but keep trying until you get to that point. Don't cut yourself off by marriage because things you want to succeed, marriage and a family is just going to cut that. It's going to cut it by time. It's going to cut it out altogether and send your life on a different trajectory. And when that happens, a lot of times you're not happy with that trajectory. That's
So
why they
does
were
it
saying that
sound like
they look tired, they look
Mhm.
weary, they look frustrated, but they were still there talking to each other. Now, that's probably the only time they had to enjoy talking to each other and laugh because throughout their daily lives, they were probably being wore down with family, and now they got grandkids. It was like shit. So they looked at us and was like, "You guys don't get married. Y'all shouldn't get married till you're about 35 years old." That's what they told us.
But does everybody feel that way? Like I've seen some people get married young and they're actually thriving and they're happy with their families. I don't think that marriage has to necessarily be viewed as like one of the worst things. It can be a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's
And then
not.
if
I'm
you
not
say
saying.
that,
I'm
and
not
then you
saying it's
say
the
that
worst
women hit the
thing.
wall. So shouldn't they get married at that age,
Within
younger
their
age?
age range, right? So,
It
and this is
sounds
why
like
it's
a
kind of
contradiction.
I get what he's saying, and I
Yeah.
understand men
Here's
because
the
they
truth.
don't
I'm
have
gonna
the
tell
same
you.
biological
Is
time
that me
clock
or
as
is
us.
that y'all?
Hmm.
Maybe that's
I think
me.
he's going in and out,
That's
but
you because it wasn't happening before you got here.
yeah. So I understand what he's saying. I get it. Men maybe should wait a little bit later because again, men sometimes mature a little bit later than we
Is that
do
me?
as women. Yeah, that's him. He breaking up. He
Yes,
breaking
you
up.
are.
God damn.
But then you never know. Like some people's time frame could be different. It might not line up with the societal norms. Even if
True.
you get married
But
later,
but
it's
the point I just want to make one point though, because listening to Moses is giving don't get married, but you can still
right.
have kids. Have
Nope.
Yeah.
kids,
Nope.
don't get married though. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying? So it's kind of like I'm trying to understand like what what is it is that you're saying exactly, like, oh, don't get married, but like create broken, like I'm asking you, are you saying it's okay to create these broken families, or like what is it? Because anybody can have a baby, everybody can't raise a family. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to have a goddamn baby.
Isn't it funny how
Right. That's
his
true.
It's
parents,
one plus one equals two. Boom.
isn't
That's
it funny
easy.
how he had to drop out before he could answer the question? And I don't
I mean,
say
because
that he
I'm just
uh,
trying to get some
I
clarity
don't
here.
say that he did that intentionally. I'm just saying
No,
But
that
it,
some
I don't
questions
think
are left.
so because he don't back down. I
it
don't think he
just
give no
sounds
fuck
Oh
so
about
no, he's
so
gonna answer the question. What I'm talking about is timing, right? When it
that.
comes
Hmm.
to, dare I say, the universe, you know,
Hmm.
some answers are to be answered for the individual. Like
Mm-hmm.
like when it comes to these stray, I don't even want to call them strays. That's not fair because children are beautiful. What I will say is that it was really curious to me that the older uncle said, "Don't get married," but he didn't say anything about don't have children out of wedlock. He
Thank
didn't say
you.
nothing
And
about
that's my question.
that.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my question to him because it to me it was kind of giving okay, yeah, your uncle them, because back then the silent generation and them, they were told, you know what, get married, have a family,
He
get married young,
his his
but
uncle was on that it's cheaper to keep her mentality.
yeah, yes,
You
yes, yes,
know, he was
yes.
like, don't get caught up in the it's cheaper to keep her situation. You know,
Mhm.
like whatever you do, don't get
Yeah.
tied down with being married
Yeah,
because you'll
like it's
find
just so
yourself,
terrible.
going
Mm-hmm.
through what you would rather not go through just to find out it's cheaper to keep her, and then you
Mhm.
fucked up at a family barbecue talking to these young folks.
Right, right, exactly.
Sound of like marriage is the worst thing, don't do it. In today's
Yeah,
society, that's not good. And
I
then it's
don't
not
like
the
that
marriage
message.
that's the issue, it's the people that are involved in the marriage. So let's
Exactly.
not put so much
But he
negativity
didn't
on
say
marriage.
nothing
Let's
about,
focus more on
Can
let's
I ask
focus
y'all a
more on
question?
getting
procreating
ourselves right.
with random chicks though.
Do y'all mind holding the panel down for a second? I have to go to the bathroom and I'm on crutches, so it might take me a couple of minutes.
It's okay.
We
Speedy
got
recovery
you.
and take your time.
All right.
Yep, speedy
Yeah,
recovery.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that
I'm
was
gonna be
my
quiet
thing. You know what I
because I'm new
mean?
here, so I'm gonna be quiet.
No, you good. Like, but that's what I wanted to ask him because I'm listening and all I hear is don't get married, don't get married.
That was so
But
negative.
I don't hear don't
Don't
have
have a baby.
children.
Right.
Don't have,
Don't get knocked up.
unregulated children.
Yeah, like I'm like, what do we see? That's the problem. People
I know a
and
guy.
here's my thing, right? In my head, the way that I think is pretty much when you have a kid with somebody, you've already committed to that person, whether you want it to or not.
I
You're
mean,
already
You
committed
period.
because you're gonna have to
you fucked
communicate with
around and
that
got caught
motherfucker.
with
You're gonna have to
evidence.
exactly. You're gonna have
The
to
baby is the
communicate.
evidence.
Yes,
Okay.
you're gonna
You
have
got
to
caught fucking,
communicate
and the
with
baby is
that
the evidence.
person. Yes, you gotta communicate with the person. You're gonna have
Right.
to, whether you hate them or not, dislike them,
If
whatever.
you mature,
So
yeah.
so don't have kids with people that you fucking hate or you think you're gonna hate later. Like, and I can't, listen, we don't know what the future holds, but I'm just saying, marry before you carry if you can, please.
Absolutely.
Okay, I got something to pose. In this world of many, many, many forms of birth control,
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
why
so many.
is it that a woman would choose to have a child out of wedlock? Because it's a choice
Unless
at
they
this
want the
point.
baby. I don't know. Some things happen because I will say that a lot of people are having sex out of wedlock. They just don't get caught. So
Yes,
that's also a thing.
But the
that's
choice to
true.
actually
But
find, like,
we all know what we doing, right? We grown. You know what I'm saying?
Of
We
course.
know the consequences. So it's like,
I will honestly say, but I know for the majority, like a lot of people do end up, careless, irresponsible when it comes to having children. I can
we
honestly
all
say
have been careless.
my
Yeah.
Isaiah and Matthew, both of my children were planned. So, you know,
Mhm.
and that's not to say that when my first child, because I wasn't married, I was married with my second child, and I can see the difference when you
Mhm.
do get married, when you're not married, when you had a child or whatever. But
Yes.
um, yeah, I definitely agree with marry before you carry. If
Mhm.
we can,
Mhm.
but I also know that things
Things
happen.
happen for
But child,
sure.
my
I,
baby,
yeah,
and it
I
wasn't.
can.
I was young and dumb, if I'm honest. But my child saved my life. But I will say, we have to be smart.
Mhm.
Like because
Mhm.
and at the end of the day, sometimes our children suffer for our careless decisions.
It's a
Yes.
I learned
serious
that as I got
matter.
older.
Yeah, it's a very serious matter.
It is. It's like,
It is.
oh yeah, let me have a baby with somebody, but not marry them. Like what? You still gonna have to communicate with them and deal with them for the rest of your life, whether you want to or not. So stop having babies with people you don't like that.
Right.
That's
I
my
agree.
point. Do you get what I'm
I
saying?
agree. Yeah.
That's all. That's all I'm saying. So,
But do you think people really have babies with people they don't like?
well, I think people ignore red flags. That's
They
what I
like them
think.
at the time.
They like them at that moment because it feel good.
Yeah, they like having sex.
Okay.
So if you ain't
Yeah,
having protected sex, it's a possibility that you can have a kid. That's just really what
exactly.
it comes down to.
Because I
So
still
you,
love
That's
like
it.
my oldest son, my son about to be 18. That man said, Mo, you think we could like if we really like went to counseling and stuff, like you think we could work it out? This was like a month ago.
I know he lying.
I said, are you
Wow.
serious?
But that would be cute. I ain't
But
gonna hold
he
you.
said no.
I'm here for it.
He said, I'm so serious. Like I love Matt like my own. Like
I'm
man,
here for
I've
it.
been knowing you since you was 16. I was like, what?
I'm here
I
for it.
oh,
Well,
no,
it
I
it
said
looks
sounds
like
to
we have
no.
me
Moses back
that
on
he
the
still has the same 16-year-old mentality.
Ooh.
He
You know,
doesn't. He's a completely different person, and he older than me too. So
okay.
It looks like we have Moses back on the panel. Moses, did you want to finish what you were saying?
Yeah, I just want to wrap that part up by saying marriage ain't for everybody. Kids ain't for everybody. You know, it's just not. But because we've been told, hey, you got to get married, you got to have kids, that really messes people up. There's a lot of people out here mentally traumatized because of that.
what?
Marriage ain't meant for everybody.
I
Kids
agree.
aren't meant for everybody. If you would just be upfront with some of these people, if some of these people were just honest with each other and say, hey, I just want to smash a little bit and take the proper precautions when
Then
you
put a
smash.
rubber on. Then put a rubber on.
Yeah, all
Thank
of that.
you.
You know, but just take
I
precautions,
noticed your
smash.
uncle at the picnic didn't say make sure you put your rubber on.
Get a vasectomy. Get your tubes tied.
Yeah,
Stop
all of that,
creating
whatever it
these
takes,
babies.
but be honest up front and just say, hey, you know, I'm just having a good time. But people won't do that, you know, especially us fellas, you know, we sell lies. I know I done sold plenty of dreams, you know, and that's cost down the road. So and I'm not gonna
What was
blame
your best
women,
lie?
and I'm not gonna blame women because I've learned that I'm not gonna say that women are weaker emotionally and mentally, but they are softer mentally and emotionally. So they will fold, bend, and break when we out here selling them dreams.
I
So
want to
yeah,
hear your best move,
It
man.
depends on the
I
woman.
want to hear what it took for you to get in a woman's drawers.
Cause got me messed up.
it,
But
would
go
be
ahead.
it would
I
be
want to hear your moves. I want to
it,
hear.
it would be whatever. It's like shoot, I like the way you looking.
Not whatever. You know what worked for you. What's your
Well,
best move?
okay. Here's one. I
Cause
would
he
go up
light
to
skinned.
if I go up to a woman, I say, I sure like how that dress looks on you because women are very vain when it comes to their clothes.
I
So
see.
if you notice something on a woman that nobody else, if somebody just coming up to us and saying, "Oh, you fine" and all this, that might not work. But I can't say I sure like how that dress looks on you. That's
That's
the
all it takes.
that starts it. That starts it. Most
See,
people don't know
that's
it.
that. That's
Specific.
that BS, right? Like
Or I might say, hey, I like how you look in them
that's
glasses.
not.
It's
You didn't get
anything.
her that night saying how nice her dress is. You didn't get her that night. I'm talking about
Oh, yes,
what's
I
your
did.
best move.
Oh, yes, I did.
Shh.
My
She
best
was high.
move. Now I'm gonna tell you my best move. Here's my best. My best move is preemptive. It's going to the chick that's not getting the most attention around her friends. She's getting the least attention. So when I look at that one, and that's when the vulture comes out, and I put
So
all the
you go
attention
for
on
the
her.
ones with low self
Somebody
esteem.
somebody said that old school shit don't work no more.
Yeah, it works.
So
It works.
you targeted women with low self esteem is what you're saying.
Well,
Ooh.
it may have looked like she had the low self esteem, but she still looked good.
That's what he's saying.
Let's say it's a dark skinned chick that's around her light skinned friends. She's
Oh,
gonna
here we
be
go with the colorism.
I'm
yeah
laughing at these comments.
yeah.
Well, he
Let's
went for the ones with low self esteem.
hey, that's
But,
what do
but
you think
who
I'm
And
trying
why
to
but
do
who's
do?
we
the
always go to
see
the
this is
colorism
see this
thing?
What
is
do you think
this
I'm
is
trying to
why
do?
okay. Now this just triggered because y'all act like it ain't no beautiful, bad, beautiful ass dark skinned women
Thank
out here.
you.
No.
Stop
You got
it.
it twisted. You got it twisted.
What?
Your dark skinned friends think they're not beautiful, but when I see a
Well,
fine ass
ooh,
dark skinned
see,
woman,
this is why I wanted to have a dark skinned daughter, but
that
instead I had a dark skinned son.
that's your
So,
dark skinned friends, not the
you
fellas.
know,
The fellas is like, damn, that's a fine. That's all we see is a fine
oh, if I
brow.
had a dark skinned daughter, I
I
would
would
Exactly.
like
just
to say
How,
really
hold on.
fast.
So many men
go
get
ahead.
caught up in light skin, dark skin. I think that is so ridiculous. Light skin
Yeah,
don't mean cute. Light
but
skin
Mm-mm.
that
can
but
It's
be
that
always
is
the
but
been
that
ugliest
ridiculous, but
ever.
this
Like
is
but
It's
that
a
is
lot of
but
ugly ass
that's how
light
I
skinned
win. That's
people.
how I win. That is
It's a
this
how I
lot
win
of
a
light
lot of
skinned.
times.
It's a
Thank
lot
you
of light
guys
skinned
for
ugly people.
joining. Thank you guys for joining the Reason with
Sorry,
Rod.
guys.
This is our Saturday night vibe. I hope you guys have your drinks, your spliffs, your red solo cups. We have Black Moses on the panel, Mela T, and Mo Love, and we're talking about the subject of marriage and more. The more is the cohabitation agreements, the what is it, domestic partnerships, and all that people opt to do other than marriage. Ivan, so I hear you say that marriage isn't for everyone. So I guess I don't have to ask you about your views on marriage. But when people are dating, should they date for an end game or should they date just for the hell of it?
They need to know what they're dating for. If you're dating to smash, then you should let that be known. But
I
if you
agree.
feel like this person is a companion that you would enjoy spending time with beyond that, then you need to go further with that. And yeah, that's where dating comes in at. But if you're just in it for the smash, you need to be upfront and say, hey, I'm just having fun. Let's do this. And every once in a while we can do that. And if she's agreed, yes. But if she says no, a no is a no, keep it pushing because there are yeses out there. It's just not with that one. But a lot of guys sell dreams. Oh, you could be my girl. We can do this. We can do that. And next thing you know, she gets pregnant. He dips out, or he done had enough. He done smashed enough to where he dips out, or maybe she done smashed enough and she want to dip out. You know. But what a lot of you women do when you're ready to dip out, you're not honest. You'll start seeing another guy without letting this guy know that you're seeing him. Even though you were honest up front, you'll still start sliding with another guy without
So
telling the
men
one you
don't do
already
that to
smashed.
women. I'm confused.
Hold on.
Men don't do
Oh,
that. They
Yeah,
not
I said
straight
we
players.
do it. We do it. We do it. Yes, we do it. You know,
Okay.
but when I'm talking about when you're honest up front, when you tell the truth up front. When I say we just smash it and she agrees and
Men
we
are
just
not
smash
always
it,
doing that though.
if she agrees and if she says, okay, I'm cool with it, I'm sliding, I've seen somebody else I like, then it is what it is. But when you don't tell the guy and he's looking to still be smashing, you ain't told him that you seeing somebody else, that causes conflict. It
well,
causes
maybe she wants to break it to you softly.
ain't no softly. Just if we've been honest up front, if we've been honest up front, just let me know. We've already been honest up front saying, hey, that's what we're doing. So why can't you be honest enough down the road, say, hey, it's somebody else
Because
I'm
you might
interested
be
in.
a psychopathic killer.
It has the
That's why.
you see now
So
you're
are
going
That's
we
too
why.
far.
saying so
Now
are
you're
we
going too
saying
far.
So are we saying that wholesome the American lifestyle, the American wholesome culture of marriage and kids is non-existent and we should encourage whatever fits your boat. We should encourage if you want to smash, be up front. If you want to be a F buddy, be all of that's
I'm,
what
That's
we're
not
I'm
encouraging.
glad you asked.
You yeah,
I'm glad
you,
you
you know what
asked.
that is? You know what that is? It's truth, being truth and upfront and honest. You want that. You don't want to sell somebody a dream and then they're really into you and all you want to do is smash and they find out down the line. Now they putting your tires on flat, busting your windows. Y'all done had a child and now he's on child support. You don't want all of that. Just be honest up front. That's the
So
problem. We're not
I just
honest up
want to
front.
say, in response to what had been mentioned, is that the solution is understanding, educating oneself in the dimensions of compatibility. Highly educate yourself about the dimensions of compatibility. Once you know the signs of what this potential lover will and won't do, you'll be straight. You know, you don't have to worry about whether or not they're going to snap off because you're saying, I don't think this is working out. I'm about to go. And then next you know he jumping on your neck and some shit. Like you already examined those dimensions of compatibility. You've already found out that he's not the type to physically attack you. He's not the type to you know hack your phone and your Facebook page and all this other guy. You like he's not the type to exploit you. You it's important to see. That's what I love. This is why I love technology as it stands, and it's improving every day. People can educate themselves on dimensions of compatibility before they pair up with somebody. It is truly important because sometimes things don't work out, and you need to know that you're with somebody that's going to make a smooth transition about it, as opposed to, well, I'm going to have to cheat behind his back because I don't know how the fuck he going to step up. You know, I want to break it to him gently, but, he's been showing me signs that I didn't examine before, that he's not the type of, he's a ownership type of mentality. Like, you belong to me. You belong to me. Like, you have to know how to spot those signs before you pair it with somebody. You
Let me
pair it
ask
up
y'all
with
something.
somebody that's
I'm
on this
sorry.
you belong to me shit, they're not going to take too kindly with you, saying that this isn't working for me and I wish you well and this is the end of it. They're not
That's
going
why
to
I
take
think
too
it's
kindly to that.
Let me ask y'all something. Can I ask y'all something real quick?
mm-hmm.
Most of y'all are like faith people, Christians. You go to church and all this other stuff, right? Especially you faith based people, right? Let me ask y'all something. Do y'all think everybody in the Bible was married?
No.
No.
So if you're Christians and you follow the faith, and the book is your guideline to your faith, the Holy Scriptures, and everybody was not married at that time. You had concubines, you had
Okay.
houses of prostitution. Why is marriage this construct now if it wasn't even the construct back then, especially when you had men that had like 10 and 20 wives?
Okay. So can I
That's the
respond to
Old
that?
Testament,
It's not
bruh.
old.
That's
It's
the
the
Old
same
Testament.
testament
It's
that
not.
That's the
exists
Old
today.
Testament.
It's the
So
same
Why you talking
testament
about
that
the Old
exists today. What
Testament
are you talking about,
for
Old
I
real?
don't
Testament?
think we're saying that we
That
understand
sounds
everybody
crazy.
Talking
will
about the
not
Old
be
Testament.
married, right? We know everybody won't be married. However, for those that choose to operate in marriage, we're saying that don't make it sound like it's the worst thing ever. We're fully aware that everybody in the biblical days were not married, that there were concubines, and America views marriage in a different light. We're aware.
Tell me
So
this,
I
Mo.
don't never be
Tell me
one of
this,
the
Mo.
ones
Tell
that
me
makes it
this.
sound like marriage is horrible. I hate when people promote that.
No, tell me this, Mo. Why wasn't everybody married, especially the people that were of marrying
The word
age?
even says it's in the word that everybody will not obtain marriage. I mean, that's biblical. So
And
that's
why is that? Don't just give me a
I
scripture.
don't
Can you
know.
tell me
I
why?
didn't write the word.
Because
Everybody,
everybody
some
will not
people
have
do.
the
Leave
characteristics
it to a black
to be a
man to say,
virtuous
"Give
woman
me
to
It's
be
not for
something."
And I
married.
don't
everybody.
even think it makes you
Uh,
not virtuous if you're not married. I
So
just
if
think it's
the
hold
so if
on.
the
But in
word
the
said
Bible, God,
everybody, so if the
Hold on,
word
let me
said
answer
everybody
that
would not
question
be
though. Can
married,
I answer
why are
the
we trying to
question?
force everybody to be
we're
Can
not
I
married,
playing
saying
answer
that
the
it's
games on
question
culture?
this
back?
channel, sir.
I'm not trying
We're
to
not playing
force.
games,
I'm not
okay?
forcing marriage. What I am saying
Sound
is
like you're playing
the
games.
word even if
No,
I could finish, the word even says that everybody would not obtain marriage. It does not mean that something is wrong with you. God specifically says some people will do their best work for him alone. Some people do their best work with a companion. It just depends on your purpose.
Mhm.
It has nothing to do with you're less than because you're not married or you're better
but
than
I don't.
because you are.
But I don't
I
think
wish
that's what
people could
he's saying.
understand it.
I think what he's saying is that if everyone in the Bible is not promised marriage, and if everyone in the Bible, quote unquote, out here believes in Scripture, then why do we think that everyone in the world should be married? Why, when we have these conversations, why when we see the 30-year-old woman, the 40-plus-year-old man without kids, why do we insist? Why aren't you married? If it's
So
Right.
not
who is we
promised to
though?
Society.
So
And
why
who?
Society.
expected in
I guess
society?
it depends on the we because
society.
I know that everybody won't be married. That's just what it is. So who are these people that feel like everybody should be married?
Well, can I
That's
say something?
unreal. That's
Your
unrealistic.
grandparents,
I've
your
been triggered.
parents.
I wanted to say something before he speaks because I know that's his ego talking.
You don't
It would
know. Don't tell me it's
appear,
my ego talking. I'm just
sir,
making.
Yeah,
I'm just
nobody
sir,
asking
agrees to
questions.
marriage.
I'm
sir,
asking
Nobody said
questions,
that
and
you
it's my
shouldn't.
sir.
ego.
We're
It would
against
Somebody's
appear.
drinking.
we're against the way
Somebody's
you're speaking
drinking up
of
in here.
marriage. You're
We
making
all
marriage
drinking
sound
up
like
here,
it's the worst
Ivan.
thing.
You hear him?
I'm
You hear
not.
him?
That's the only thing we're
You hear
This
saying.
the
him?
You're
old
making it
folk. This
sound
the
like
old woman
marriage is.
section.
Oh, so y'all drinking and talking about
You
marriage?
hear him?
Okay.
Moses, don't act like you don't be having your little couple of little beers in here
The,
and
the,
there. Don't do that.
I know. I hear it in his voice.
Not
He just said,
tonight.
Not
Go ahead,
tonight.
Miller.
I hate when
I
people
hear
speak as
that he's
in
just sipping alone. I hear it.
Go
I
ahead,
hate
Miller.
when
And
What
he
is
is
it that you
looking for
wanted to
some
say?
soothing. Okay?
Wait,
Let's
what you
get
say now?
this
Say that again. I
above.
missed it.
You better believe you missing it. You missing out on everything. You
Say,
understand
say
me?
it again and cut all that out. Just say it again.
You wish you could command me. You wish you could. What I'm
Ooh.
telling you is that you got a case of the supposed to. Somebody is supposed to soothe you and your ego. And that's not what's happening here. We're having a serious discussion. We're not interested, or at least I'm not interested in you soliciting women to actually recite scriptures at your command. That is some BS.
What is wrong with you? When did I ever
You
even
saying y'all
leave? What is going on with you?
yeah,
What are
quote me
You
a
sound
scripture.
crazy
Quote
right
me a
now. When did
scripture.
I ever? I'm
Give me
asking
a
questions,
scripture.
but I'm
You
trying
did
to
ask him for
command women to
scripture.
soothe
You
my
asked him.
ego.
You
You
asked
sounding
him
real
for
crazy
scripture.
right now, Mel. I was with you, but
You
now you
asked
kind
him
of
for
going off on the
scripture.
deep end.
You're looking for soothing.
Soothing? What? I'm looking for soothing.
Yes.
I'm looking for conversation on a topic of
Then
this
why are
show.
you
Is this
asking
Black
You
for
sound
Moses?
somebody?
crazy right now.
Yeah, girl,
Why are
that's
you
Moses.
I
asking
missed
So,
somebody?
it. Why
Ivan,
did I just notice that?
Girl, you are late. I knew
I am
him
so
as soon as I heard
late.
him talk
I
because I
miss
seen
Black
him. I said,
Moses.
"Who the hell is that chilling
Okay.
person? I don't know who that is."
so
Then when I heard it,
Moses,
I
drunk
said, "Oh, it's
ass.
Black
Huh?
Moses."
What
I
y'all
just
saying?
my
We was
question.
trying to figure out who you
No,
were
Mo
first.
just realized that this was Black Moses up here speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, chilling soup in the chat. I was chilling soup in the chat. That's my new channel.
Oh
Chilling
So,
soup.
wow.
so
Okay,
Ivan,
Hot
so this
chilling
is
soup.
my
I
question.
gotta
This is my
subscribe.
question. If all people aren't promised marriage, is that fair to say that all people aren't able to practice monogamy as well? Or
Well,
is it just expected to be monogamous in a marriage?
you should be monogamous in a marriage, especially an American culture structured marriage. You should be, but biologically, as far as humans, it's very hard, and a lot of people fall to it, which is why you got all this adultery and all this cheating. But one thing you got to consider in marriage is this is it. This is my partner. I know if I get married, that's what I tell myself. This is it. So that's why I haven't married, because I know if I'm still going to be chasing women and messing around, that I don't need to be marrying this woman. That's my stance on it. So if you're in a marriage and you're headed to
How
that, yeah,
long do you think it's gonna take before you stop chasing women?
No, I was gonna ask something.
I just use that as a term or a phrase. I really don't chase women because I have a lady, so and we're headed there. But I'm just saying,
You're faithful to her
when I made
100%.
huh?
You're
Say that again?
100% faithful to this woman, this lady friend that you have.
Yeah,
I'm sure he
yes, I
is.
am.
That's
When are
good.
you gonna marry her?
That's my business, Mello. Why you getting in my business like that now? See
It
her?
shouldn't be a it shouldn't
No,
be
that
a
ain't
bad
no. That's
question.
for me. But that's
You should be
for me.
excited about
That's
that.
for me to guide and decide. That's not for
Sound
you.
like
To
you're
see,
nervous.
you just did what I said. You're trying to build
Sound
this
like you're
construct. Say
nervous.
you need to be getting married to that woman. See, that's what you're trying to do right
Sound
now.
like you're nervous.
Now
No, I'm
that
not
I know
nervous at
What
it's
you
Black
all.
nervous
Moses,
about?
I can't even be
I'm
like
not nervous at all. But it's my decision. That's what it is. My decision.
I
So
think
do
it's her
you believe in
decision as
marriage
well.
for yourself, Ivan?
Yes, I do. I do.
That's great to know. That's beautiful. That's
It
Yeah,
beautiful.
is.
I do. I'm not going to say that I don't. I do, but I know in the past when I was close to it and I was with women that wanted to be wives
So
and
you
I knew that I
stringing her
didn't.
along based, you know
Yeah,
what?
when I was selling, well, hey, when I was selling those dreams, just like I said, selling dreams and not delivering.
You
Yeah,
Playing them.
stringing your current lady friend along based on past actions. That's
nope,
what you're saying.
nope.
Based on past actions, you
I'm basing it
stringing
on
her
my
along.
present
You know that
life.
women
I'm
want to
basing
be
it on
married
my
to you.
present life.
You know she want to be married to you. Why are you
Yeah,
stringing her along? Why are
I'm
you
not
doing
stringing
it?
her along.
Why are you taking her off the
Why are you
market?
making assumptions? Why
No,
are you
why are
making
you taking her off
assumptions?
the market instead of committing full throttle?
Why
Okay, I
are
have
you
a better
making
question.
assumptions?
I think I have a better question. How long y'all been together?
A few years.
What's
A
a few years?
decade.
3, 4,
Two?
A
No, two.
decade.
Two.
Okay, two.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Well,
I give you a little pass.
it's
I give
time
you
to
a
make
little
that
pass.
move. It's
I give
time.
you a little pass.
But
Okay.
see, I'm making the move based on me, not on you, Mella. Whatever you talking about over there.
Ooh,
I'm speaking up
that's
as
a
a
little
woman in that
spicy.
position. What the hell you
Oh,
waiting on?
okay. So
Mella's
Shit.
not playing with you. Period.
yeah, is Mella, you married? Do your husband approve of you up here talking shit like this?
Don't deflect.
Don't y'all start that shit because I'm
Don't
married too.
deflect.
No.
Okay,
'Cause
y'all.
I'll
Yeah,
I'm
get
not
ain't
you.
gonna
no
say that.
deflection,
I'll
but ain't
get you.
ain't no
I'll
deflection.
gully
Y'all
gully
act
gully
like
Ain't no
y'all act like
deflection, but it's
married.
still
Y'all
up to
act like
me.
married women can't be on
Don't
live.
deflect.
Like what? That's crazy
Right.
as
Oh, you can't be on live charging me up. That's what I'm saying.
hell.
I don't know what y'all talking about. I ain't say y'all
Just
couldn't
you
be on
don't push
live, but you
your
ain't finna
mouth
be
to
like
deflect.
Mellow over here, you know, whatever she's sipping on
What
box
about you,
wine
Millie?
trying to
What
charge
about
me
you? What
up.
about you? You should have been paying attention to the broadcast, brother.
Oh, oh, that's a broad.
Don't deflect. You don't want to do that with me,
Look,
of all people.
Rick
Why
Willis,
is
it
that?
sounds
Why
like
is that?
Bill and Moses might have something going on. They got
Why
a
is that, Mellow? Why do I not
I'm
I
not
should
here
be
to
thing
soothe you. That's why.
going
I'm not
why
here
on.
to
do you
soothe
think
you.
I want you to soothe me?
Because you asked them damn soothing ass somebody feel for me questions.
What if any questions that I've asked have to do with me? These are general questions.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
that
want
was
me to,
interesting.
you don't want to,
General.
there you go, wanting me to do something for you again.
You want to do
Just
something
say
for
what
me,
you
don't
gotta
you?
say. How about that?
You want to do something for me, don't you?
Y'all
Be
so funny.
accountable to yourself and say what you gotta say.
Y'all hilarious.
It's really that simple.
So, Black Moses, thank you for being the only male on the panel tonight, hitting the
I
panel,
know.
and being
I
very,
gotta give
very
him credit for
brave.
that.
I often mention how people reference women most times. I got to get Mr. Right. I got to get Mr. Right, but never think about being Mrs. Right. Should
Mm.
women have? What should women come? I don't want to say come to the table with, but shouldn't they have some type of standards or something about themselves to present to be this wife that they're asking for or to receive Mr. Right?
Yeah, they want to be as virtuous as possible. And that's all. See, I'm not asking you, oh, what you bringing to the table and none of that other stuff. All you need to be is my peace, my pleasure. That's it. That's it. That really is it. All this 50-50 talk and what you bringing to the table, and I don't care about that. If when I come home and I see you there and you're pleasing to my eyes and you're virtuous and you're smiling and we can conversate and I can get up in the morning or whatever I'm doing, and it makes me motivated to want to exceed goals, achieve goals. That's all I need. I don't need all this other stuff. Don't worry about complaining about bills and all this other stuff. I just need
Don't worry
you.
about bills.
Yeah, I need you to be my pleasure,
Oh my
my
god.
comfort, and I need to be able to have enough confidence in you to know that that you stand on your virtue. Anything else is minor, very minor. That's it. And the problem is a lot of these young cats. These young cats, I don't have these young cats problems. These are the young cats problem. They have finding women that are virtuous enough that'll stand by their word and be their man's pleasure without being it for everybody else. That's the problem today. Me, I don't have that problem. I don't. I don't even date women under 40. I don't, and it's finna move up to 45. So when you get to that age range, you don't have the problems that these young cats are having because
So
these
so
women
you're
are out
not
here
a Shannon
having
Sharp.
fun.
You
Huh?
had mentioned the
You're not
Bible
a Shannon
before.
Sharp.
Wait, what now?
You're not a Shannon Sharp.
Oh hell no! That he's an embarrassment. That dude
Okay.
is an embarrassment. You
Okay.
know, and
I
he's
rock.
and,
I rock with that. Go ahead.
and here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Mentioned-
Here's the
He
thing. I
mentioned the
got a lot
Bible
of buddies.
before.
I got a lot of buddies, and we're all that age, that Shannon Sharp age. We're all there. I got a lot of buddies that are just like him. I got buddies. These niggas got new babies and brand new child support cases, and they in their 50s. You
Man,
know?
you lying?
No, I'm not lying.
Baby,
Hell
that's
I'm
no.
so
not lying.
ghetto. Baby,
That
that
is
is
real
ghetto.
ghetto. Ratchet and
Yeah. I got homeboys in their 50s and some
Oh,
older in their early 60s. And when we're around hanging out, doing a little drinking and talking, these niggas are saying, man, baby mama tripping, baby mama tripping. And I'm like, God damn, nigga, you this old and you got this chick pregnant and you got a little baby. Now you're talking about it sounds silly to hear a 50-some-year-old nigga saying, man, my baby mama tripping. It sounds
mhm.
crazy, but you
yeah.
got these dudes, you know. And the reason being is that they were able when they were young, they
They were
really
lame.
weren't they really weren't good with women when they were
They were
young.
lame. Yeah.
Yeah, they were either lame, they weren't attractive, or they didn't have they whatever you call it swag together. They couldn't dress,
Just like
whatever it
Shannon
was.
Sharp.
Whatever it was, yeah, women wasn't attractive to them. So as they got older and was able to work a job and build up some money, some of them worked for the city, and you build up that money, and then you retire and you get this money, this pension or whatever you get. You got money now. You got a house, you got a couple of cars, and you got this money. Now you want to go out and play, and you land up with these 30-year-old women all night, and then they get pregnant. And now you got a little baby at 50 some years old, and she really wasn't rocking with you. So now you got a brand new child support case at like 54, 55 years old. That'll kill an old nigga.
I
Yeah,
don't
that's
feel sorry for
crazy as
them
hell.
motherfuckers. I don't feel sorry for them.
Me either. Me
Shannon
either.
Sharp, that's that bald headed guy.
No, he's the tight end. He played in the NFL tight end. He just got outed for
Oh yeah, he interviewed
yeah,
that comedian the beginning of the year.
Cat
Okay.
Williams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
All right.
Yeah, so Ivan, I think what you said was exceptional. Oftentimes when I sit on a panel, people laugh at me or look at me like I'm crazy because I don't think women should be worried about coming to the table with anything financially or anything of that nature when it comes to dating and marriage. I think that women should display their inherited nature and their inherited qualities. I think that they should be
Absolutely.
nurturing. I think that they should be voluptuous and sexy. I think that their job is to work out and keep their body right and keep the
Oh
man.
yeah. Don't be getting fat on
Mhm.
me. Don't be in my house fat. You can't
And
be in my house fat.
I
No.
only can think that because of what
Listen,
I only can think that for one thing because of what I expect and want in a man, and I don't require him to do, and it's hard for me to ask anybody something that they can't get of me. But I expect the same thing of my man too. But I feel that that's what a woman should do, and I feel that it's a luxury and in heaven once she is picked up by a man because she is no longer wayward. So when I say that, people often think that I'm lost or that I'm a pick me or something like that. But I think that's how it should go because men are often having this conversation about job, money, 50-50, 70-30, and all of that. And I don't think none of it matters when it
Here's
comes to the
proof.
woman.
And I hate to interrupt you, but here's proof. Some people talk about, like earlier I was in the chat with what's the dude named Stanley. He said, oh, you got 1972 standards, yes, whatever he was saying. But anyway, here's the problem. The problem is how society has changed because, and I've said this before in other spaces, but I say if that woman has to get up and go to work to a job she don't like, then your relationship and your marriage is in jeopardy. And I'm saying this in principle and experience because when I was working these corporate jobs, and we had these little young new employees, young chicks coming in, and they were married and all of this. If she was frustrated coming to that job, it got to a point where she started going to lunch with dudes on the job. Next thing you
Yeah,
know, we all going to happy hour. She's at the happy hour kicking it with the dude, and he's smashing some guy's wife. The husband is coming up to the job, confronting her. It happens so many times, and that's simply because if you if a woman has to work in a household, she's married, she has to get up and go to a job she don't like, she's gonna find some way to enjoy it, and usually that's with another guy on that job or somewhere around, and it's gonna cause disruption. If she has to get up and go to a job that she hates every morning, your relationship is in jeopardy every
What does
time.
it
I can
take
show
to
you better
keep?
than I can tell you.
What does
Yeah,
it
and
take
your
to keep your
relationship in
wife
jeopardy if you're a
happy?
woman too, and ain't being appeasing when he coming home every day from work. That's
What
why.
does it take to keep your wife happy? Not, I mean,
What now?
what does it
Hey,
take to
Young
keep
Rise.
your
Hey,
wife
what's up,
happy?
Riz?
As a man, in your mind, what would you think it takes to keep your wife happy?
Conversation. When you're a husband, and when you're a husband, you're on stage every day. It's showtime every day, whether it's big show or little show, but it's showtime every day, you know. And there's little things you can do to just let her know, hey, I'm with you, I'm here, I'm working on this. And then there's big things you can do. But one thing a woman is vain. She's vain. So she's gonna want some little tidbit of your time, your emotion, or something. She's going to want it every day. And
You
that's a
think
lot of
what
things.
it takes to keep a woman happy is to cater to her vanity.
Yeah, to listen to her because a lot of women want to tell you
You all
about her
heard this
day.
out loud. I'm going on mute.
She wants to tell you about her day. She wants to tell you what's going on with her and her friends. She wants to tell you about a show she watched. She wants to share that with you, and she wants you to be reactionary to that. She don't just want you to sit there and be like, "Oh, okay, whatever." She don't want that. She wants your interactivity or whatever they call it. That's at the least. And sometimes she just wants you to be spontaneous and say, "Hey, put something on. We finna go here." She wants that too. You're on stage every day as a husband when you're married, and if you start dropping from big to medium to small, if you just start dropping off things, that there's gonna be some
When I
problems.
think about
Her mind is gonna start
when
wondering.
I think about the word, or rather the phrase being on stage, I think about an actor. Are you saying that a man has to be phony to make his
No, he
wife
doesn't have to
happy?
be phony. I'm just using that
Okay.
terminology.
I'm
So
just
please
keeping
don't
things
just take it
clear.
like that. But I'm telling you, you on stage every
No
day.
days off,
Yeah,
basically.
you're a husband. You that's a commitment. Y'all got in front of the preacher and he wrote it down to you. Hey, sickness or health, what the good or bad, whatever. He rolled out the red carpet and told you what it is. You start falling away from that, it's a problem.
Well,
I
It's a problem.
definitely, I definitely
okay.
agree with Ivan when he says that. I think Mella, when he's saying when you're on stage every day, it means that it's no days off for a man. When a man asks you to marry him, take your hand in marriage, or be in a relationship with you, he's gonna take care of you. So if you hungry, if the lights off, if the car not working, if none of that, that is all his responsibility to take care of you and make sure that's done. So you not stressing about that. That
And
man
it's
has no days off while you relaxing, hoping
and
he
it's
get that.
reciprocal for a woman. So when I come in the house, I want to see you with them little old shorts on and them flip flops. If you walking up in my face talking and you want me
You
to
got
listen
that
and smile
motivation.
while you talking to me, I want to see them little shorts on. I want to
Yeah,
see them
You
little
want
something
legs
that
crossed.
motivation.
I want to see looking them pretty eyes. I want to see some. Either I want your hair tied back in a ponytail, or you can put a little bandana on it. But you need to
I've
be looking. If
spent
I'm gonna sit
two
up there and listen to you,
marriages
because you think you're just
providing
walking up to me,
motivation.
talking to me, and you ain't worked out. You're looking sloppy. You're getting sloppy and
I've,
nasty. The
I've
the
spent two
kitchen is nasty.
marriages
The bathroom
providing
nasty. Come on, you got to
motivation.
perform too. It's reciprocal.
It is reciprocal.
I agree.
It is reciprocal. I've provided that in two marriages.
Mm.
What
Damn, two
the
marriages.
variable? what the
Shut
variable.
up.
Okay, okay. I know it sounds
I'm,
kind of
you
corny,
know what?
Wait a minute.
I'm done.
You
but
asked if
the
somebody,
whole
you know,
Guys,
thing, the
we
whole
do
thing
have
about a
y'all.
marriage,
I'm
the whole
sorry,
thing.
Mella.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
go
I
ahead,
know I
Malone. I
didn't
want
want
to
to
hear
cut
about these
you
two
off.
marriages.
Go ahead. Young Raj, you can speak right after Mella
What
finishes.
what okay? What the word that was introduced is reciprocation. Is significant to provide one another with reciprocation. You have your position, he has his position, and you have to have that mutual agreement to not ever falter in those positions. What comes up are variables, which is often introduced by having children. And so there comes disagreements as to how you conduct raising your children, how you balance the budget, how you exert the differences of your personality that evolves over time, you know, and there are variables when it comes to really sticking to it for the long term. Not everybody is going to just be it's a mood thing, like can you roll with the punches? Not I mean, not physical punches, but I mean, can you actually as New Edition would say, can you stand the rain, right? Can you stand
On
the
a
rain?
perfect day, I know
So
Yeah,
that
like,
can we get into
every
these
day
two
is not
marriages?
going to
Can
be
we really get into
perfect.
these two
See,
marriages?
unfortunately, everybody
Doesn't
has this it's a lot of people have these fantasies that as long as I'm agreeable and play my position, it should work out fine. That
right.
it's not that simple.
It's not.
then what if
Mm-mm. And
doesn't
I
it
ain't even
also
concerned.
depend on
Because go
what the
ahead.
person
Okay,
does?
you got. Hold on, you guys. Let's let young Reyes speak. Thank you for joining the panel, Reyes. Happy Saturday to you. What is your response on marriage?
My thing is the thing I was trying to say is what you put out is what you get back. What
I
goes
can't
around
hear
comes
him.
around type of
I
thing though.
can't understand.
You sound muffled and
I
real
believe
loud.
he said, "What you put in it is what you get back."
Okay, hold on 1 second. How does that
That's
sound now?
better.
Any good or no good?
Yeah, you're
That's
fine.
Hey,
Go
better.
ahead.
That's
Oh,
better.
sorry, let me put my phone up, sorry. What I meant to say, what you put out is what you get back. What goes around comes around. Because we're not just conscious, we're also subconscious too, though. So actually, the way you subconsciously think, that's just how it is, though. And also, good communication is key as well. It's not just basically when you speak to a person, it's also to when you have to listen to a person and how a person's tone is too, though. Because it's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it and how you come across to the other person, though. Because look, you can say all the right things, though, or you can speak, how you want to say what you got to say, but the other person may not take it the way you actually come across with your intentions, though. So that's why your tone matters, though, the way you talk to a person. And that's how it is, though.
Oh, thank you for that, Reyes. We appreciate your input.
Yeah,
Any?
I can agree with him about the tone. Um,
Mm-hmm.
a person can pick up on when you're irritated with them, and that's not really appreciated in a lifetime commitment. It's not. If he's talking to me in a way that's dismissive, or I don't want to say disrespectful. We've never actually disrespected one another. However, when life burdens you, and and the next phone call you get is some, you know, off the wall question that has nothing to do with what you're dealing with, your tone can sound like you're frustrated with them without explaining that you're frustrated with what's happening with you in that day. So yeah, I think when people are married, they need to explain their tone. You're right. They do. They need to explain it home. I remember. I see Stanley's on the panel. I remember Stanley recently said that one of the things that he really liked about his wife is that she knew when to just say yes, dear, and keep it at that. Like he could just be, going back crap crazy, and her response, as opposed to challenging him or asking him, "Why you talking crazy to me?" or whatever some snappy person would say outside of their marriage. In her marriage, her response to him is, "Yes, dear," and he really loved her for that. And it's an important attribute to have, to know when to just understand that this too shall pass. Like you can sense the frustration in your spouse's voice, and whatever they're spewing, just understand this too shall pass, and don't have an attitude with them because they do it. Don't take everything personally. You know what I mean? You have to
Mhm.
be wise enough to know, when to hold it, when to fold it. It takes
Mhm.
wisdom to be married. It takes wisdom.
Right. That's why I was saying that what you put out is what you get back. That's the same thing. So what the energy you're putting out though is the same energy you're getting back.
My sister, she's been complaining lately.
Stanley.
I know this sounds
Hey
personal,
there.
but she's been complaining lately about how.
1 second, Mella. I'm
Okay,
trying to introduce Stanley on the panel. Thank you for joining the panel, Stanley, and
Oh,
happy
sure. Good to be
Saturday to
here.
you.
You too.
I know that you've been here for a while, so you saw the content. What are your thoughts on marriage and the discussion that we're having tonight?
Well, I agree that some people shouldn't be
Sound
married.
low.
Oh, am
Oh,
I?
let me see if I
Let
can
me.
turn your mic up. I got it. Go ahead, Stanley.
No, I was struck by the fact that some people shouldn't be married, and so that's really all I have to say. I'm a big fan of marriage. I was one of these people that like living with a woman, like how some people kind of shack up without commitment, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
Never been a fan of it. So um, yeah, it's a commitment, and you shouldn't go into it without knowing that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that too. I'm not into the whole
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah.
as a
Yeah,
Agree.
and
veteran,
So,
um,
Stan, do you agree? I know you said that you were kind of interested in the whole marriage isn't for everyone. So, are you saying you agree with that statement that marriage isn't
oh,
for
I
everyone?
I absolutely agree with that.
Okay, and you don't believe that we should be steering everyone to marriage. It's not. It shouldn't
I
be
don't
the
think.
American standard or culture.
Well, no, I think it should be, mainly because it is, and you know, I basically, I don't think marriage is pushed. I think it's presented as an ideal. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
nobody's forcing anybody to get married.
True, true,
So,
and that is
you
what
know,
I
I
was saying. Dating
no,
without
I
an
was
end game.
you know what? I think there's a time for that, when you're young and kind of feeling out, yourself. I mean, you kind of need to know yourself when you get married. You shouldn't be getting married like discovering who you are.
I agree.
Hmm.
Facts.
I agree. Definitely agree
Well,
with
wait,
that.
well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. He said nobody's forcing no. We grew up with that ideal. You grew up with the
Okay,
ideal that
who,
you should grow up,
dude,
get a job, and
you
get
you need
married and
to
have a family
call
and have
call
kids. You grew up with that
call
ideal. That's what you were
calm
taught.
down, calm down. How many people grow up with stuff that they don't do as adults? So no,
I'm
again,
aware of that,
nobody.
but it's
Well,
always taught.
I don't think you are aware of it. I don't think you're aware of much, to be honest.
Oh man, okay. Now you're trying to be insultive, dude. You kind of
Oh no,
sounded like somebody up here
hey,
with erectile dysfunction, and I'm not
all
trying
I
to deal
have
with
to
that.
say,
All I'm
Well, don't
saying
do,
is,
well then,
growing
hey,
up,
don't deal with it.
that is
Don't
implanted
deal with
in
it.
you that you should
I
grow up,
encourage you.
go to
I
school, get a job, get married, and have a family. That is what
and a
is
lot
that's what is taught.
and
Yeah, people don't do
okay,
it. It
that's what
doesn't
is
work out
taught.
that way, but
How
that's
many
what is
people don't do what
intended
they're
and that's
taught?
what is influenced in society. I don't know if
Son,
I don't know
son,
how it is
you
with
don't
you.
want
I don't know
you
how it
don't
is
want to
about men marrying men. I don't know about that part of society. All I know is when
you
I was coming up, you was taught to grow up, go to school, get a job, get married, have kids, raise a family. That's how it came up. So yeah, all that stuff on the
again,
other side of the spectrum,
again.
I don't know.
Dude, why are you acting like a woman up here? You don't
Yeah, well,
overtalk me.
you're the one that sounded like you're the one that
Let
sounds
the men
effeminate. You're
speak.
the one. I'm a woman, but
Hey,
you're the one that
I
sounds
might sound
effeminate.
effeminate.
My
I'm not.
name been in your mouth all night, dude. Come on, dude. Is your woman there now? Why are you on YouTube if your woman is there, dude? Huh? Do you have erectile dysfunction? None of these women on this chat want to date you. None of I'm sure you're one of those guys that go on online Tinder sites looking for a date. Come on, man. Knock it out. Keep my name out of your motherfucking mouth, dude.
Dude, you sound so weak.
But you are. You are weak. You are weak. You came up here for me, lame. You came up here for me.
Yeah, I came up for you,
Yeah, you
son.
came up here for
Uh,
me.
yeah, I
You
came up
was
here
in the
for
chat.
you.
Hey, you say my
That's
name two more
exactly what I
times.
did.
I'm gonna come up and roast your ass, dude. If you're married, your wife is unhappy because you're lame as fuck. I could hear it in your voice, dude.
So you
Hey, hey,
I'm sure,
hey,
I
even
have a
though you're
question.
married, you sneak off at times and you meet guys and they rub you down with Vaseline. I'm sure that's your life.
you hear a lot in men's voices, don't you?
I'm listening to yours right now,
You should be listening. You should be, son. I'll
but
teach you
you
how
ain't
to be a
saying
man.
nothing. You ain't saying
I'll
nothing,
teach.
dude.
Hey, I wasn't
You ain't
saying
saying
anything.
nothing.
I wasn't
All I
saying
did was
anything.
argue your
Oh,
point
god
about people
damn,
aren't
dude.
forcing people.
Dude,
All I did
why
was
are
argue
you
that
over
point, and here you
talking me?
go.
Look,
You
I was
talk, I'm
talking to
talk. I'm
Roz.
answering
I
every
was.
time you make a
You
remark.
must.
I make a remark.
Do you need my attention or what?
I don't need your attention, dude. Why do I need attention? Well, I'm on here to chop it up with Roz, dude. You brought your erectile dysfunctional ass up here saying it's bullshit. You brought it up here looking for me. So here I am. Here I
You know the
am.
one thing. The one thing I learned about women is sometimes you just got to let them talk. So you go ahead, hon. Keep talking.
Oh, now I'm Hun. See, the nigga just called me, dude, Hun? Yeah, dude. Yeah, 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 I'm
You're
Hun.
acting.
So
You're
Van
act.
Cleef.
You're
Stanley,
acting like. You're
You're
acting
you're
like a
you're you're
hun.
question. You're very questionable, dude. Where's your woman at? You're very questionable.
You know what? You don't need to know.
Yeah, you don't need for her to know. You don't need for her to know. But she probably be looking for me for she's looking for you, nigga. Yeah.
so Stanley, you agree that marriage isn't for everyone, and I've been talking about people dating for an end game. So, what are your thoughts on dating for an end game? Like, do you think that people
I
just
think
should
it'll.
date for dating?
Why would you
I
ask
think
him that
it'll.
when he likes men to pull his pants down? Why would you ask him that?
Oh
I
God.
think that
Oh
I
my
think
god.
like I was beginning to say, by the time you kind of know who you are, I think you should date with a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
Makes sense.
you start out, hey, dating, and then you kind of narrow it down. At some point, you should be dating for a purpose. If your
Mm-hmm.
purpose is to get married, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if because no one forces anyone to get married. If marriage is not what you want to do, then don't do it.
Mm-hmm. So Young Rise
Mhm.
mentioned that he's Muslim and he's a virgin and he's waiting on marriage. Due to religious constraints, I believe he would most likely get a holy or worthy woman. Is American Could American culture benefit if we focus more so on Christian values when men are picking wives and women are choosing to let men marry them?
You're asking me?
Yes, and anyone on the panel who would like to
Well,
answer.
no, I don't. I'm not very religious, though. I was raised religious. I think
Hmm.
if religion is your guiding light, do what your religion calls for. It's not mandatory, but I think if that is how you were raised and that's how you want to do it, it's a perfectly good way to do it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, sorry. Is it okay if I speak? Please, I can elaborate also on that. So basically, when it comes for that, the faith thing, I don't mind. It's okay if I it's better stick to the same faith. I could marry a Jew or a Christian if I wanted to, though. And some people do it and some people work. But me personally, I should stick with the same faith. And also, when it comes to the faith, make sure the person is practicing, though. It's basically like the full package. Make sure the person's practicing, they got good character, good personality, and other criteria as well, though. The criteria for me, the first thing, the faith part though, practicing faith part. As long as she's a good person, she's got a good personality, good character. She could be whatever she wants to be. The looks do matter to a certain extent though, but I also do admire the intelligence, determination, and the loyalty part as well. Could be whatever race she is though, and that's the only
Thank
thing
you
I
for
care
that.
about.
Thank you for that. I would encourage you to focus on a woman who is within your faith, so you don't want to
I
be out here
agree with
dealing with
you.
those scallywags.
I
But
agree with you. I was just
yeah,
explaining the other concept as well. Some people do it, some people work. I'm sticking with
hmm
the same faith. I'm the same thing as you, though. I was just explaining the other concept as well.
cool. Thank you for that, you guys. So thank you so much for your thoughts on the panel tonight. It's been very interesting. Do you guys have any other things that you would like to say, or any things that you wanted to say on what some other folks were speaking on tonight?
I just wanted to make sure that this marriage discussion was not about same sex marriage because this nigga here sounds like a church sissy ass tambourine player. That's what I want
I
to
am
make
so
sure
sorry for
we
the
weren't talking
disrespect,
about
Stanley.
same sex marriage. That's what
That's
I
all
want to
right.
make sure. Yeah.
That's all
No,
right.
we would not. This was a conversation for heterosexual individuals.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure that because this nigga called me
Hey,
hun and ain't with that shit.
stop. You're not going to find a date on this panel.
Didn't I just say that to you, goofball? Didn't I just say that to you?
Well, no, no, no. Now that there are two men on the channel, I didn't want you to. I didn't want you to think that.
Didn't I just say that to your dumb ass, man? Dude, don't you got some
Hey,
tambourine playing to
so,
do in the
so
morning?
because I'm on Roz's panel, I'm taking it
Don't
easy
you
on you.
got some
So keep
tambourine
it
playing to
light.
do in the
Keep it
morning, dude?
light.
God.
Dude, you have
Huh?
no clue what I could do to you.
No, you nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
You have no
Nothing at
clue.
all. Nothing at all, dude. Please don't threaten me with Vaseline. Please don't.
Mo, are you still here? Mela, are
Yeah,
you
I'm
still
here.
here? Oh, okay, got it.
I'm
I
just
said. I
listening.
think I said everything I needed to say in the chat.
Yes, you did,
So
Stanley. I really greatly benefited. It helped me with the show tonight, so thank you.
Yeah, shout out. Shout out to everybody.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys, it is approaching my 3 o'clock mark. So I am asking for last words. If you would like to be the first to, well, Young Rise, what are your last words?
What I like also is pretty much make sure to do the necessary research as well, though, not just basically finding the right person as well, do a background check, also do a lot of checks basically. And also, nowadays as well, not gonna be, it's gonna sound harsh, but also gonna sound weird also, though, is make sure to actually get the official birth certificate and stuff like that. I know, sounds weird though, but trust me, man. Because look, nowadays, because of this rainbow community thing, no, you have to actually literally double check everything, man. Literally everything, no. That's just nowadays reality. And pretty much, though, the final words for me, though, is pretty much everyone has to leave a like, comment, share, connect to the host, connect to anyone else who's a creator here, help us grow, inshallah, and that's it, man.
Thank you.
Inshallah, inshallah, brother.
Have a great
Inshallah.
night. Mela, do you have any last words?
Yes, I do. Peace and blessings and
Thank
gratitude for accepting me on your panel. It
you. Of
was
course.
nice to really be here, and I'm pleasantly surprised that it worked out. You know, a lot of people are prejudiced against me, believe it or not, and
Aw,
I'm pleased to have been accepted. And so I extend blessings to everyone's family, friends, and acquaintances. from this day forward. My last words would be in the advice of an older woman to younger people is what would have been most beneficial for myself is to become well educated about the dimensions of compatibility in terms of pair bonding, and that would have probably saved my first marriage. Had I been more informed about my quirks and um, things that I refuse to do and or will do, I wouldn't have had the the personality hiccups. Like for instance, my first husband, he wanted us to change religions. He wanted me to become a Muslim. We married Christian. He wanted me to become a Muslim, and which of course my spidey senses are tingling. And as it turns out, he had a level of insecurity um, that prompted that by virtue of being the sole provider of the family. When what that wasn't the case before he asked me to not reenlist. What eventually occurred by him not being able to admit that he was scared, he decided that Islam would be the route best to take in order to control me as a distraction from whatever it is he needed to do to secure, you know, um, a better financial situation. I see that now. I didn't know that then. And had I known that all he was concerned about was being a provider, an adequate provider, I would have been a little bit more understanding when he would have outbursts that, quite frankly, turned me away from him. And when he wanted me to become a Muslim, I was just like, "What's this about?" And and having discovered the passages in Islam that allow you to beat your wife, that definitely turned me away from him. And I just couldn't tolerate in my mind what was a setup, right? But at the same time, I married him for a reason. I married him because we actually got along. It's just that providing, being the sole provider of a family was a very overwhelming concept for him, and he didn't know how to communicate that to me. And so, where I faltered in choosing him as a husband, or rather, he and I getting married, is I needed somebody that was a good communicator, and he wasn't. So that's my fault for not understanding that dimension of compatibility that would fit me. As far as
Mm.
my second husband, I faltered on another aspect of not being educated enough in a dimension of compatibility where we are both veterans with issues, and we thought we could be each other's counselors, but we can't. So that's called introspection. We lacked, and I just wasn't able to choose people according to dimensions of attributes that would promote longevity. And so that's what I'm offering as my last word on this panel tonight. Young people, make sure you educate yourself about what dimensions of compatibility work best for the longevity in your marriage. That's my last word. And thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Mo, do you have any last words?
Great life. I
Thank
missed the
you.
last one, but I'm so glad I caught this one. I love you. I'm so happy that you have started going back live.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys are always here, especially you all the time. So thank you very much. You guys keep me coming, having something to look forward to.
Of course, love you. I'm gonna drop. If y'all want to come to my live tomorrow, I go live around 10:15 tomorrow night.
Yes, everyone, make sure you guys subscribe to Mo's channel as well as come to her live. She usually goes late, so make sure you join around 10 o'clock, as she said, 10 o'clock Central Time, because I am on Eastern Time now.
Okay, I'm gonna drop.
All right, thank you.
And
Follow me easy.
Bye,
Mo
girl.
allows heathens.
Yes, I think
Like,
You guys are
we
hilarious.
all allow we all allow heathens. All of us.
Moses, do you have some last words?
Yeah. When it comes to marriage and relationships, please be honest up front. Tell them what your intentions are on both ends. And if you're fully transparent, you should be okay. And that's pretty much it. And Roz, you know, I came up here in peace, intention. I hadn't been on one of your lives before. You know, I don't make it. I came in here in peace. You know, I didn't come in here with fire, with fury. You know,
Thank you.
but I won't be, you know, disrespected. And if you bring it, I'm gonna give it back to you times 10. And you know how I am, Roz. So yeah,
well,
don't play
I'm
with
waiting
me.
for
You won't get these prizes.
Thank you. Thank you for joining Black Moses. Have a great night.
Good night, Black people.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh no.
I
I'm
was
sorry,
wondering where
Stanley.
is Stanley Lee? Oh,
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Stanley.
I'll do just a quick last word. I
Yeah.
appreciate the subject.
Thank
You
you,
know,
Stanley.
yeah.
I got married a little older. You know, I was 40 or so when I got married. I
Mm.
just found that, you know, the older I got, the more I dated with intent. So, you know, that's been my experience. And then the other reason
Yeah.
I appreciate the topic is I've got a 19-year-old. So, you know, these things kind of help me. One of these days, I'm going to be asked for advice, and
Yes.
you know, keeping me thinking about it. I appreciate. And then the last thing is, I'm finding that women make better panel hosts than men,
Really?
and that includes me. So you know, I appreciate the professionalism that you and T and Mo bring to the job. So,
Not that
and
Thank
professional.
you.
Thank you.
that's sincere. So,
Thank you. We appreciate
yes, ma'am.
it.
And I will join you on your show, T, when you're done.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
good
Thank
night.
you. Have a great night, Stanley. And I'm so
You
blessed
too.
that you hit the panel tonight. I'm
Yes, ma'am.
grateful.
I
Stanley.
Appreciate
happy to
I
be
love
here.
Stanley.
Bye.
it.
Yes.
Bye. T, what are your last words before we get to your after party?
Yes, ma'am. So, Roz, you know I love coming to your show. Sometimes I
Thank
don't get
you.
your notifications, but I'm so glad that you're back doing your shows. You always have great topics, great enlightenment, great panelists. It's just always a great, diverse conversation, and I appreciate
Oh,
that. It's much needed, and you're so gracious and understanding with everybody. I yearn for your patience. Um, because sometimes I don't, you know, but I yearn for that. Like I look at you, people like you, people like my sister. Y'all have like a lot of patience and I guess empathy, and I
mm.
just wish I had more of that. So I salute to y'all, man. I'm working on myself in 20. I'm still working on myself, child.
Girl, ain't we
I'm
all? Ain't we all?
listen. I just be like, dang, I feel so far behind sometimes, but shout out to y'all's positive vibes and energy, and just y'all are just great people. Great topic. Marriage, about marriage. I'll say this. I've been married for 17 years, right? So,
Hmm.
um, it's not peaches and cream every day. It's work.
Absolutely.
It's you know, and sometimes it's like I said earlier. What's love got to do with it? Sometimes love don't have nothing to do with getting this marriage going on the right track that it's supposed to be going on. A lot of times it's duty, it's work. Like you have to work towards the goals that you have set for that particular whatever
Yeah.
that goal is, because we all have different goals or whatever. But like, no, it's not peaches and cream. It's not, oh, let's just go on a date every other day. No, that's cute in the beginning, yeah,
Oh yeah.
but no, after you in that thing, it's work. You got to work towards the goal, because especially you have children, you have to try to figure out, hey, what can we leave for the children that we
Exactly.
have created together. So it's
Hmm.
work. It like, if you don't think of it, if you don't think as if you don't look at marriage as work, then you shouldn't even get married. You
Yeah.
should just forget about it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Love is great, but like,
I
it's
think that
more
people
than just
forget
love.
that part, the duty part.
Hmm.
That you
Yeah.
have a duty to be a wife and a duty to be a
Oh,
husband.
child.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Every
Hmm.
day, every single day. But yeah, thank you so much, Roz. I love you. Y'all come
Thank
over. We gonna chill out, even though we about to have World War III. Cause Trump just, what he just do? Child, shout out to Trump. Not shout out, but I don't know what to think.
I don't know what he
Um,
did. I gotta look it up and see, girl.
Girl, he bombed. Apparently, they bombed Iran today.
Oh wow, I missed
Three
all that
of
shit.
the, yeah, three of their nuclear site. Girl, it's too much. But
Oh no,
child,
we've been
it's
recovering from Juneteenth.
listen, and they just had to do it this weekend, huh? Juneteenth
Hmm.
weekend,
You know
had
how I
to.
go.
Oh, but anyway, I love you, Rise. I'll see
I love
y'all over
you
there.
too.
Y'all have a good night. Hopefully, y'all
You
come over
too.
to my show for a minute. I won't be live long because I'm sleepy. But love you, Rise. I'll see you later.
Love you too. Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.
Bye. So that was awesome. I want to thank T, Ivan, Stanley, Mo, Young Reyes. Who else do we have up here? Did I get everybody? T, Mo, Young Reyes. Who else? Ivan, well, Black Moses, Mela. Thank you all for joining the panel tonight. You guys made it very interesting. I noticed, see, I can't really see my knee over there behind the rods, but I noticed now that I've been poking my leg up the whole time because my foot's starting to swell up, and that y'all can see my leg up in here, but it's all right. It look a little dilapidated. It's smaller than the other, so one leg is full of cellulite and the other leg is full of muscle. So I just got to do a lot of workout. But I will say that tonight was a very, very interesting conversation. Thank you guys for bearing with me as I learned how to share screens tonight. Thank you, Distance Lights, for joining tonight. Thank you, Ant Dog, for being here. Chitlin Soup, thank you for all your conversation in the chat. Thank you, Khan Shawnery, for joining. I always appreciate when you're in the chat and come around. I know you came late, but definitely check the replay. Thank you, Young Raez, for joining. Mo here for the T. Stanley, EAE. I saw Mike Dougie in the chat. Thank you, Mike Dougie. Mike Dougie, at any time you can come up on the panel. You are day one. I will drop everybody down so I can have a conversation with you. I miss you, 777. Of course, DS, he comes around all the time, but you know, y'all my day ones. And then, of course, the Chaotic Truth Live. If you guys have not subscribed to that channel, if you don't watch any channel, watch his show that don't like his content, just go over there and give it a like or something, or give it a dislike. We welcome all, but that is my brother, and I support him heavily. I don't agree with most of the things that he says, but I do agree with his work ethic in life. So, thank you guys for tonight. I drank a little wine tonight, had a little J tonight. So, you know, T is having an after party over there. She dropped her link in the chat, you guys. So make sure that you go over there. She's always playing wonderful music. And if you haven't finished your drinks over here, you can always go over there and finish your drinks over there. So I hope to see you all there. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful night. And I hope to see you guys on next Saturday. Good night.